kick to the gut. I like it.
Yo, what's going on, my brother? Hey, it's Mister Young.
And it's foreign in the building. How are you, bro?
I'm sleepy, bro, sleepy. This is the life of a newsreader, apparently. If you've been tuning in to Power 98 Love Songs on the morning show, cheap plug for my show, I've been reading the news alongside the regular stuff I usually do.
Damn, so you have to wake up like even earlier than how you usually wake up, which is super early as it is.
Yeah. Because, okay, for us DJs, right, a lot of the time we prepare the news, prepare our stories already, right? And we just, come on air, I got my co-host, we just talk shit, we shoot the breeze, kind of like what we're doing here on the podcast. But then with news, bro, news is a different story. It's like a next level of professionalism. I feel like a Michael Cole.
Have to be serious, have to be like your journalistic hat must wear on.
Yeah, so it's different hats for different situations. But other than that, I'm all right, dude. How are you, my friend?
Yeah, I'm good. But before I talk about myself, I'm curious to know, bro, like how early do you have to be in the office? And do you get to skip the morning traffic since you're there to read the morning traffic news?
Okay, so I don't actually start reading the morning traffic news until 7 o'clock. So 6 o'clock is still very chill.
Okay, so you can like slowly make your way. It's still dark outside, but you're driving to work. Really.
Well, I mean, technically, I leave the house at like 5:30, 5:45 if I want to, push my luck a little bit. My show starts at 6, right? But the first hour is very quiet, which is great.
Yeah, that's cool. For me, man, I've been working, about 1 month into Property Guru, right, bro?
How is it, man?
Yeah, so like for me, I always knew about the app, but now that I'm working in the company, I really use the app. It's a stark contrast from my previous job where I don't use the app at all.
Wait a minute. What app? Okay, no, let's not go there.
We shall not mention it on air, but it's very very interesting, bro. Because I've always I've turned 30 right recently, so this. I feel compelled to like have my own place, you know what I mean? So like this want and need to kind of like move out is really strong.
Okay.
And, so like I just been randomly looking at places to rent and stuff of that nature. Wow, bro. Fuck, man, I found like a super good deal, right? Then right, like I'm still like a year away from like you know what I mean, like really committing to like moving out. Because I can't just do it like right now. I have to plan it out, right?
Yeah, and you have to be comfortable in affording the place as well. It's a process, lah. And, it's all part of that process of, you have a girlfriend, now you want to have your own space, have your place of your own, that kind of stuff. So I totally get it, dude. Yeah.
Bro, I give you one teaser, bro. Just one teaser.
Oh, no, okay.
I play all the filter, find all the right location, all. I tell you, do you believe me if I say that I found a penthouse studio apartment, 1,200 a month only.
Wait a minute. Are you serious?
Right beside Katong Mall. Overlooking, you can see Parkway Parade, you can see,
Bro, this is the property guru employee in you speaking. Yeah, all of a sudden you're all about the locations and locations.
Deals,
yeah, bro. This is a different side of foreign, man. Okay, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Kick to the Property. The property discussion podcast.
Bro, the crazy thing is, bro, right? The apartment like speaking out to me. You know why? It says there, looking for single professionals to work there. And I'm like, and my workplace is like freaking pioneer. I'm like, wow, this is like teasing me, bro.
Okay. If you think about it though, if you actually save 1,200 a month instead, think of what else you could accomplish. See, that's what you're giving up. 1,200 a month. No, that's no joke, bro.
That's why I was saying, instead of paying 1,200 now, I save 1,200 for a year, then I see what's my situation after that.
Hey, bro, BTO, bro, those are the 3 letters, not RKO. Not the 3 deadliest letters in sports entertainment. You're talking about the 3 most important letters in Singapore life. BTO, my friend.
Yeah, but for those of our listeners that is not in Singapore, you'll soon get to know that this is a very important acronym here, even bigger than RKO. So
yes,
BTO.
Let me say hello to everybody in chat. By the way, thank you so much for being here on this Tuesday afternoon. I hope everyone's like enjoying their makan right now. I got my teh. I'm ready to talk about Crown Jewel. I want to say hi to Muhammad Daniel, to Irvin, to Jason, to Div Royalty. What's up, everybody? Jason says corporate foreign lah. You're no longer the people's champ.
I love all the comments where do you rent out Mankind's boiler room? All the wrestling puns come into play. Yeah, man. No, I haven't turned to corporate Kane yet. I haven't become Mayor Kane, so it's all good, guys. It's still the people's rapper. Huh? Don't worry about it.
Remember when all your favorite wrestlers were still hustling? They were living in rundown, in cars, in shitholes. So there's no shame in while you're building up, right? Sacrificing a little bit, sacrificing the creature comforts a little bit before you get to that next level.
For sure. Speaking of which, right, we gotta give a shout out to Young Rock, man. Over the weekend, they had a season premiere.
Yeah.
Yeah, Young Rock season 3, and like I know, like not like we don't really watch it, but like I'm sure you've seen the social media posts on Becky Lynch playing Cyndi Lauper. What do you think about that, bro?
Not bad, you know? I mean, obviously, it looks like Becky Lynch, but she put on the wig and everything. But her accent, the way she acted, the way she talked, I was like, wow, Becky Lynch. Maybe someone's been doing acting classes, thinking about her career after the WWE, huh?
Yeah, her New York accent really not bad. I'm legitimately impressed. I couldn't hear even a hint of her Irish accent. So it was really impressive.
Not bad, not bad. I mean, it bodes well for them to be able to branch out like that. We've talked about it before, right? You know, as long as your employees, your stars become mega stars outside of wrestling. And segues perfectly into what we're about to talk about. So, you know, because in this day and age, man, it's not just about the wrestling. That's the hard, honest truth. It's about the entertainment, the media, the spectacle.
Yeah, for sure. And before, I know we're gonna dive right into Crown Jewel. I know everyone's waiting for our review, but can I just say the funniest thing that I saw in the build-up to this Logan Paul and Roman Reigns match, right, is when they did the tail of the tapes and they put like the accomplishments side by side with each other. Do you see which I'm talking about?
No, I missed that. Why? What did they put?
Okay, so like Roman Reigns had all his accolades, like, you know, multiple-time world champion, IC champ, US champ, blah blah blah, Royal Rumble winner, blah blah, and then Logan Paul is like 30 plus million followers on Instagram. That's his accomplishment, bro.
Hey, that's a tough accomplishment, okay? As someone who's trying to grow their social media, I can attest that is not easy at all. So kudos to him. But okay, so did you enjoy the build-up? The whole story of one lucky punch. Literally, this whole feud, this whole match is built on the fact that he maybe can land one punch.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves like an underdog story. Yeah. But sometimes it's a bit hard when the underdog is Logan Paul, so you can't really take it seriously, right?
Yeah, and of course, Logan Paul has a bit of a reputation, not a little. You know, there's a huge percentage of people who dislike Logan Paul, right? And probably look at this going, oh, what is he doing? He's doing the wrestling thing.
And purely by build-up itself, right? They had a very weird build-up because they did the initial press conference, remember, at Las Vegas? It was like 2 weeks before Extreme Rules.
Yeah.
So they had the initial splash, then it got quiet for it as they shift gears, focus on Extreme Rules. And then they started building this up again. So it was a very stop-start build-up, in my opinion.
Bro, do you think that Sami Zayn and the Uzi stuff kind of overshadowed it a little bit? Because that's what everybody's been talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's like a happy accident.
Yeah.
It's great because like instead of everyone just shitting on Logan Paul, they had that entertainment and distraction of Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
And shout out to Sami Zayn because like he apparently the most over guy in the whole building, but he's not even there. So respect to that.
Which is crazy, right? Okay, he wasn't at Crown Jewel. It's because of some sort of political thing, or I was like, I heard different stories and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what is the real story. I think he's never came out and like publicly given a reason why.
Yeah.
But like the main reasons, like the main stories is, of course, he's of Syrian heritage.
Yeah.
So Syrian and Saudi Arabia are politically like heavy, like they have their enemies in a way.
Right.
So that's one.
Yeah. That's also one of the reasons that MVP wasn't there, right?
Alright, no, MVP and Sami, apparently both of them are former Muslims, and I think they became atheists. I'm not sure about this. These are the stories that I see running around, so I don't know whether Saudi Arabia will look down kindly on that. But again, from my understanding, right, it's like as long as they are non-Muslims, their jurisdiction doesn't really apply to non-Muslims.
Exactly.
So I do not know what it means if you're Muslim and become non-Muslim. So I don't know how that works. So
and the crowd was cheering and calling out for Sami Zayn. I mean, how crazy is that? that, you know,
Yeah.
if you think about it from that sort of a point of view, right? Like, people love him for what he's done as opposed to all the other stuff, which
Yeah.
in it of itself is actually quite a big deal if you think about it.
Yeah, so the thing about it is, right, politics aside, right, and these
Mm.
are Saudi Arabian wrestling fans, they
Yep.
just like Sammy for what Sammy did in the ring, and like they don't really care about the background or whatever it is that
Yeah.
it come from, right?
Okay, to be fair though, I will say this. The fact that Sami Zayn wasn't there, I think actually helped the match and helped the build to it. Because at some point, right, you have to realize, I felt anyway, like, okay, it's kind of, the comedy is kind of taking away from the quote-unquote seriousness of Roman Reigns and what he's about to do and how he's about to go in there and deal with this lucky puncher.
Yeah, I believe that not having Sammy there helps the match,
Yes.
helps put the focus on just Logan Paul's performance. If not, you know, everyone will
Yeah.
cheer for Sammy no matter what, and Logan
Yeah.
Paul will be like a, you know, background character, right?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, I feel like it was a happy coincidence that he just, you know, wasn't going to be there. So,
Yeah, he
that
did help
aside,
them.
yeah. So, okay, talking about the lead up to Crown Jewel, are you ready to jump into this one?
Yes, for sure. Before we dive right, I just want to acknowledge what Irvin said, right?
Mm.
He said, like, does this help Logan's image more or WWE's exposure? What do you think about that?
I think both grow, you know, both grow together. It's hard to say and quantify who helps who more. You know, obviously the YouTube fans are going to be like, yeah, Logan Paul is bringing the WWE out. WWE is going to be like, oh yeah, you know. I think both help each other. It's like Mike Tyson being involved in WrestleMania, what was it, 13 with Shawn Michaels and Stone Cold Steve
Yeah.
Austin, right? It's like,
Yeah.
you know, WWE gained, but also Mike Tyson got a bit of notoriety as well. So everyone gains in this sort of a situation, in this sort of collaboration.
Yeah, and every time like Logan Paul posts about WWE or whatever he does in WWE,
Mm.
you see the comments, right?
Yeah.
The celebrities that like, you know, talk to him and kind of like, you know, interact with him are really legit celebrities. We're not talking about Johnny Knoxville or what, you know. It's like when he posted, like, he was at Saudi Arabia, he had like Kevin Hart, he had freaking like, I don't know who else, Usher, like you know, like proper celebrities, you know.
Didn't he come into the press conference on a camel?
Yeah, yes.
What the hell?
He had, and there was this one time he wore like the entire, like the whole Arabic garb as well. So yeah, you know, he knows how to play. At this point in time, his social media game is like solid, bro. Like, no one can deny that, you know.
Exactly. Okay, let's move on to the card then. A lot of ways going into this, I felt like this was a 2-match card. Like, I would actually go as far as saying a 1-match card, which is the main event.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. What did you feel about that? Did you feel the same, or were there other matches you were kind of looking forward to as well?
Honestly, it wasn't even a 2-match card. It was a 1-match card for me, bro.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go. See?
Yeah, but
you agree.
A crazy statistic we need to acknowledge, right, is the fact that Logan Paul headlined a show where Brock Lesnar was the undercard. What do you think about that, bro?
Okay, to be fair, the first match out is not considered the undercard. Brock has been on the first match before of WrestleMania. You know, it's the mood setter. You throw something just as big. So the match that kicks off the show, honestly, is usually the second match on the card. As in second most popular match, the second biggest match. So them coming out first made sense, actually.
It did make sense. It started off the night hot. I mean, you know, both like wrestlers are beloved by the Saudi fans.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, both of them technically are faces, right?
Yep.
And then when Brock started fighting with Bobby, it felt like Brock was going back to being a heel. But did you see the dynamic in the audience for this match?
If I'm not mistaken, the crowd, if I remember correctly, it's been a couple of days, the crowd was all behind Lesnar mostly. And here's the thing, that's because Lashley is just not a strong character. Period.
Yeah, they boo Lashley, right?
Yeah. So it almost became Bobby Lashley became de facto face, de facto heel, which makes the match to me a little bit like meh. You know, I mean, just imagine if MVP had been in Bobby's corner for the past couple of weeks, hyping this match up, or, you know, being his mouthpiece. Like, it just, to me, didn't really work in terms of that like there's no heel or face dynamic. It's just two giant horses going at it. And do you remember the first time they fought? They had those incredible video packages of their history and how Bobby served in the Marines and how they started the amateur career, blah blah blah, all that kind of stuff, right?
Yeah,
This
like
time
all the
around,
Royal Rumble stuff, right?
yeah, this time around they did not do any of that. They just highlighted the recent stuff, which I was very like, oh, okay, that's curious. Why didn't they drag up the history on this one to make it even more, like, to me, this match felt like the start of something versus the culmination of anything.
Do you feel the rivalry felt tagged together as opposed to last time they actually wanted to really build up that first match, but this one felt like an afterthought, like, oh, okay, we need like a big match on this big show, let's put these two horses together, not doing anything. Kind of feels like that, right?
That's 100% it. It just felt like, oh, Brock needs a big payday. He's a big draw. Saudi Arabia, you got that. Get that Saudi cash, baby. So the way it finished as well leads everyone, I think, is quite obvious. Leads us all to believe that there is more to this feud.
Yeah, so why I kind of found that whole dynamic funny was, again, the crowd was loving Brock Lesnar, cheering him on. Essentially, Bobby Lashley felt like a face and felt like a heel. But the way the match was laid out, it made Bobby look like this like badass dominating Brock Lesnar. And I think the story they wanted to tell was like, oh, like Lashley's a match for Lesnar, but the crowd didn't like it. The crowd saw it like a heel dominating Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar felt like an underdog, which is so weird.
Really?
Right?
Okay, to me, that signaled that yes, they planned this match with Bobby Lashley as the heel in mind. So to me, that was perfect, It just didn't feel right because Bobby was a face just a few weeks ago, and then now just because he's going up against Brock, he has to de facto be a heel, and he's had zero heat behind him as a heel because he can't really cut heel promos. You don't have a manager for him, so yeah, there you go. The finish was a bit flat and clumsy. This is the classic. I don't know. I always go back to, who was it? It was Brett versus somebody, but this is how Brett beat them.
Brett versus Roddy Piper?
Was it Roddy Piper where he had him in the sleeper and then Brett outsmarted him, but instead of trying to break it, he climbs the top rope and then falls backwards for the pin, right? That's exactly what happened here, only not as pretty as Bret Hart did it.
I mean, Lesnar and Bret Hart are completely different wrestlers, but
yeah,
I get what you mean, because like Bret made it look so smooth, and like the way Lashley kena pin, right, it was very clear his shoulders are not on the mat, so it looks so very bad.
That's because his shoulders are jacked, bro. Can you truly ever pin Bobby Lashley?
Okay, were you impressed by the fact that he could actually put Lesnar in the hurt lock, given how massive his shoulders are?
Yes. I mean, because Bobby is massive to begin with as well. Like, this is one of those things that, okay, you know what this is? This is the much better version of Braun Strowman versus Omos.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
We'll talk about that match in a bit, but like, that's the thing, right? Lesnar and Lashley, will bring it in the ring. Even if it's not perfect, even if it feels a bit dirty the way they're fighting. Yeah. But you can never deny the fact that they are well accomplished wrestlers. They are mega stars at this point. Who wouldn't want to see Lashley versus Lesnar, right?
Exactly. So to me, this was just all right. Let's start something at Crown Jewel. Brock is in here for the payday, but there was no. To me, there was no build. And if anything, maybe they're building towards Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, something along the lines of, oh, you might have pinned me, but you got lucky. You can't break out of the hurt lock. I'm sure there's going to be a hurt lock challenge at some point. The Master Lock challenge. Remember that?
Yeah, some show of strength or some like freaking like, I don't know, knowing WWE, they will do something like that. Can we acknowledge what Irvin just said about the stat? That's a crazy stat, bro. Can you read that out? My God.
The past 8 Saudi shows generated $400 million for the WWE from 2018 to 2022. That's almost 2 times as much as all the WrestleManias combined, which generated $250 million in revenue from 85 to 22. Bro. I know a lot of people who are very politically minded. They be like, oh man, WWE stink for taking this Saudi money, blah, blah, blah. Bro, if somebody waved $400 million in front of your face, you don't take Please, bro.
You are dumb if you don't take, bro.
Yeah, You a liar is what you are if you're like, nobody's paying you 5 cents to go to Saudi Arabia, so shut up.
Okay,
That's for the people who get all political.
This is exactly the same argument that football fans are having. They're saying like, oh, we don't want to take blood money from this. You think Newcastle fans are complaining right now, bro? Do you know what happened to Newcastle recently, right?
No. Why?
They got bought over by the royal prince, like the Saudi government.
Oh, is it?
Like a Saudi investment back. Okay, it's like an investment company that is backed by the Saudi's government. So it's like basically like the Temasek Holdings, lah, bro.
Okay, sure.
That's the best way to localize it. Yeah, bro. Fucking now, Newcastle is like a mega rich club now, bro. And then like everyone is complaining because it's like, oh, you know, how dare you take this money? They have terrible human rights record. Yeah. But the day they signed that contract, that was like early this year. Fucking hell, all these magpies, all these people from Newcastle started wearing the Arab headscarf.
Yo, what the hell? Wow. Yeah. I mean, that's the sad truth. Money makes the world go round. All of a sudden, best friends.
If I tell you, if WWE had the chance to make WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia every year, I think they would do it.
Oh yeah. Can you imagine that, by the way? Like WrestleMania live in Riyadh. Like, what? Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, can we also acknowledge what happened, what went down at the press conference? Do you like eyeball a bit of the press conference before the event?
What, where Roman Reigns brought up Uzi and Sami Zayn, is it?
Yeah, that's the one. And where Logan Paul came on the camel and they did like the weigh-in and all that. Can I just say, right, I do not know what it is about the recent press conferences that WWE has done, but it's fucking exciting, bro. It's really like UFC style. Yeah. And there's actually new stories coming out of the press conference. And it's not like they just pat themselves on the back. You know, it's really they are driving storylines and they make them come across as legitimate, bro.
See, this is the difference between WWE knowing how to work a press conference, doing it UFC style, like you said. Logan Paul, he knows how to do a press conference. He's done a few, his brother as well, you know, with all those boxing events, right? Versus AEW's press scrum. Look, at the end of the day, we all know what that is. It's Tony Khan wanting to be like, oh, look at me, trying to get his attention out there. He wants to make himself the star in front of these wrestling journalists. Like,
do you think Triple H would do that right now?
Do what?
Make it about himself?
No, he knows. He has the business in his veins. He's a student of the game. All those cliches, right? Like, he's not there to try to make this about himself. He's tried to not make it about himself, which is great. You know, he hasn't been involved in too many storylines. Once in a while, he shows up because people know that he's in charge, right? So it adds to the storyline, but he doesn't distract from things. He certainly doesn't go to press conferences, field questions, and take interviews and not answer questions.
Bro, which is a great turnaround from 20 years ago, I must say. Because when he was the era of Triple H in charge of starting Raw every single freaking day. Remember that time?
Bro, that's so crazy. Like, I remember like disliking Triple H because it was like, oh my god, Triple H again, right? And I was a fan of Chris Jericho, and now the tables have turned. I think you feel the same way as well with CM Punk. Like, oh my god, why are they holding down this guy? He's the best, he's my favorite. And then now CM Punk got his issues. It's like
the reign of terror has turned its tables, bro.
Maybe Triple H was right all along.
Okay, let's be fair. We will talk about AEW. I know this is going to be a WWE-centric podcast. Yeah. We will talk about their issues soon. But let's get back on track here with the match card. So after Lashley lost to Lesnar, which was quite a surprise given how they dominated. So they are 1-on-1. They are 1-to-1, right?
1-to-1, that's right. So obviously, you need the big blow-off match, which will happen. I don't think Survivor Series. Do you think it's too soon?
I think it's too soon because I think all the focus should be on War Games, right? So
right. No. Sorry, bro. You said it wrong. War Games.
Yes. Okay. I think if they stretch it out enough, and there's Lesnar and Lashley not doing anything much. Do it WrestleMania lah, bro.
Wow, that's quite a wait, you know. That's like how many 5 months away from WrestleMania?
Yeah, but knowing Lesnar, I think he will. I think he's like, bro, just put me at WrestleMania. I don't care.
Old school, bro. Old school. This is like Triple H versus Scott Steiner all over again. 1 week I'm wrestling. Next week post down. Next week fucking farm challenge. You go to Brock Lesnar's farm and see him throw bales of hay around, lifting cows. That's it, bro.
Bro, there's a precedent to it. Remember this time last year's Crown Jewel, what was the main event? Wasn't it Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar?
Yeah.
And they managed to stretch it out all the way to WrestleMania this year. So, hey, it's been done before, right?
Div Royalty says, I've been saying Triple H was right all along. If only I could see those internet fans that flame me on message boards for supporting him. Oh! See, okay,
my God. Yes.
Here's the thing. And this is something I truly believe, right? When you are you are an up-and-comer and you are sort of playing the political game, you can be very cutthroat. I think Triple H was. I think HBK was. The Clique, they have very infamous stories, right? But as you mature within the business, you realize what is good for the business. And let's face it, at the end of the day, now because he is married to Stephanie, he's in the family, the business is his. I mean, his family is his business. So he's got to do the right thing. He can't do it for himself anymore because now everyone else is looking at him going, you're the head guy. So he's definitely matured. Versus a Chris Jericho, a CM Punk, who's always been sort of like the guy on the outside. So I feel like they have a chip on their shoulder still. Mm-hmm. That's why now you see all this other, shenanigans with those guys.
Essentially, their reign of terror is later on in life lah. So you're saying that Triple H got it out of the way early in his life.
Yeah.
Now he chill a bit. He okay, I don't need all this drama, right?
Like HBK also, he havoc like nobody's business before WrestleMania 13, remember? And then he comes back, born again, and he's like the best guy now.
Bro, this can be a very interesting commentary on parenting styles, bro. I mean, if you link it to parenting and child counseling, if you think about it, don't you realize, right, all the people who go through a lot of shit when they were growing up, all this hardship, and they do all the havoc, by the time they're in their mid-20s, they're fucking mature, they're ready to settle down, bro. And then the one that really control themselves, kena control by their parents growing up, and then the moment they got a bit of independence, havoc, bro, even though they're 30 or what, they're freaking just going crazy, bro. You know what I mean?
Chris Jericho now has a billionaire listening to him. Wow, he havoc, bro. Do all sorts of bullshit.
Bro, is this him going through a midlife crisis? Just your opinion.
Maybe. I don't know. Oh my God. Okay. Let's come back here. Can we also right now, somebody brought it up in chat as well, right? Mention the Saudi crowd and how I love the foreign crowds because we've talked about this before. These are crowds that don't get to see the WWE often. They need to go overseas more often just to get these incredible reactions. Remember when they were in the Clash at the Castle?
Yeah.
Every little thing felt bigger and better because the crowd appreciated them. I think in the US, the crowds are getting bored.
Yeah, okay, that's my exact thing, right? I always wondered why WWE never just, hear me out, bro, keep their big four in the US and then do all those small pay-per-views all over the world. I think they will appreciate it much more, right?
I think it's tiring for them to do so. It probably costs more, domestically. Yeah, domestically, it makes more sense to just, do your house shows. And don't forget, they have house shows also, And then, just to sidetrack a little bit, if you notice, if you watch AEW, right, their crowd reactions week by week getting less and less. It's a far cry from 3 years ago when they first started and Jacksonville in Daly's place. Oh, everyone's excited, right? Now when they go to Daly's place, it's like,
how many times have they gone to Daly's place? That's why, right? They need to. Yeah, for them, they need to find new markets. They need to go out and run international tours per se, right?
That's why when they did that Canada show, Canada was hot for them because I don't think AEW ever went there, right? So now they've hit this point where they keep going to the same places. That's why you notice, and also plus the booking, but we won't get into that on this podcast. That's why the crowd reactions you see and hear at AEW shows are also falling off a cliff.
Yeah. Okay, I understand that it is expensive to do proper grand scale shows overseas, and that's why they've usually done house tours while they are overseas, right? So it's easier to and they can use a skeleton crowd to do it. But what I'm proposing is, right, why don't they do bidding, right? How host countries bid for the World Cup to host it, but they can bid it and maybe not even keep all the big four in US. Maybe once a year put a Survivor Series in the UK or freaking SummerSlam in wherever it is lah. Because I think there is a potential there because, like you said, there's so many starved fans. You do a show in Singapore, right? Honestly, the Singapore reactions. Do you remember how amazing the crowd reactions were for like Nakamura,
Yeah.
AJ Styles, and they legitimately were so like touched because I don't
Yeah.
think they get those reactions back in the US.
The problem with that though, I don't think the market is big enough in Singapore. Unfortunately, as much
Yeah.
as we want them to be here, remember those shows? I don't think they were sellouts either.
They weren't.
Like if you can't
They
sell out a
weren't.
house show, how are you gonna sell out a stadium show? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So again, like there is some way of thinking about it, but you know WWE is trying to create presence all over the world with their NXT.
Well,
Um,
let's talk about it. SmackDown
Yeah.
World Cup.
yes,
I-
amazing.
I'm a bit like scratching my head. Why is it a SmackDown brand thing? So this just a 10-man or 8-man tournament, right?
Yeah, I can't remember.
But like, I mean, I can see something like I thought it was going to be a WWE Network special, you know, along the lines of like remember the 205 Live or 205 Classic? What was it called?
205 Cruiserweight Classic.
Cruiserweight Classic, yeah, something along those lines where they put in like, you know, country of origin and made that a thing. But like, okay, in this case, why SmackDown World Cup? Like, if any show needs extra content, it's Raw, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure what is the logic behind it, but what's the price on the line? Like, is it getting a title shot? Or what?
Oh, okay. I just Googled it, right? This one, according to WrestlingHeadlines.com, so if it's wrong, go and blame them. The winner of the WWE SmackDown World Cup will receive a shot at the Intercontinental title.
That makes sense, kind of, right?
Intercontinental? Okay. So,
Around the world, right? Yeah.
yeah, and in
that
a way,
makes sense.
they are elevating the Intercontinental title as well, you know?
So if they do a US title tournament, it's called like the US Domestic Cup.
Okay. At first, remember when Triple H announced like something along the lines of a World Cup, I thought it would be something bigger, like an NXT, like NXT Japan, NXT UK, you know, and culminating in one big. But if it's just so this just sounds to me like a plot device to get the next challenger for Gunther. That's it.
Yeah, but if you think about it, if they do it right, this could be like a yearly thing for the Intercontinental title,
Yeah.
and it could create increased prestige for the Intercontinental title, right?
Bro, and you know what's happening at the same time, right?
What, with Gunther?
No, in the world.
Oh yeah,
The
the
actual
World Cup.
Okay lah, yeah lah. So they are doing like World Cup happening. Qatar, we do SmackDown World Cup. Okay, so
Bro,
this
I can't believe it took me so long to make that link.
bro, at first when he announced it, Triple H said this, I thought this was going to be like a big worldwide thing. Now I realize, it's just like a storyline device. Look at that, you know, because World Cup
Yeah.
it's for the algo. Alvin said it's for the algorithm, bro. So when people search, hey, got SmackDown World Cup also come up.
Smart. Hey, Jason, bro, I know one person who loves tournaments more than Triple H, bro.
Hey, I saw a graphic on social media. They're doing another tournament, aren't they? On
They're
AEW.
doing a tournament for winter is coming, yeah. Yeah, for the world
Fuck
title,
off.
yeah.
Look, the second I saw AEW and then I saw tournament, I just glossed over it. I roll my eyes. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. No, I am so done with AEW and their nonsense tournaments. They need to put tournaments to rest for at least half a year.
You need to just let it rest in peace. Oh my god, we are so distracted from
I
our
know.
Crown Jewel review.
Okay, come,
What's
let's
the
come
next
back.
match? Next match.
It's Damage Control versus Alexa Bliss and Asuka. And I know a lot of people are complaining, hey, why they lose their titles so fast, right? I think what a lot of people speculated is true. They wanted to give the Saudi audience a title change.
I think so too. I think it's stipulated in their contract. At least one title change must happen in Crown Jewel, bro. Do you think so?
Yeah, and every other match, well, there was only one. There were a couple of other title matches. They didn't want to switch the titles. Okay lah, just friggin' this is the most meaningless titles. Switch it on Raw, and then I'll switch it back.
So my question is, why not they keep the titles all the way until Crown Jewel, then drop the titles to, Alexa Bliss and Asuka instead of doing that whole hot potato?
You know what? Actually, I don't mind it because so far, like right now, if you look at the landscape, you have very strong champions that have been holding the belt for a very long time, I think it's okay to have one or two hot potato belts. You know, sometimes, like, do you remember back in the day, the European title or the Intercontinental title, like, you would have various contenders and they were all like legitimate contenders and they would swap back and forth in between.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Pay-per-view. So I don't mind that much. The only issue here is I find everybody involved in this very bland and their storyline has been shit.
Yeah, like but one thing that interests me and intrigues me was, do you see the opening title card, like when the WWE intro came in? Didn't you see Sasha Banks and Naomi appearing there?
Yeah, well, I mean, isn't it already public knowledge that they are going to come back? It's just a matter of when.
So don't you think that it makes sense for by the time they come back, they would want to face Damage Control as opposed to face Asuka and Alexa Bliss, right?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, right? So you got face versus heel team, and obviously, you know, there was that promo that Alexa and Asuka were doing backstage, and all of a sudden the Fiend or the Bray Wyatt's logo showed up on the TV, and then Alexa's like, "Oh, so is she going to go through a character change?" Obviously, she needs to, because who was it that brought it up? Was it you? I think that right now Alexa Bliss is as bland and pointless as it gets, unfortunately.
It's one of our Discord members, I think. So I can't remember who exactly, but yeah, you're right. When she did the whole therapy thing, I thought she's gonna come back and, like, you know, get back to her old goddess self.
Yeah.
But she's like this weird in between. She's like this happy-go-lucky girl, and that's like the most boring Alexa, unfortunately, is when she's nice.
It's like they literally have nothing for her. And then Asuka, also another one. She's so bland. She's just, for someone who's so colorful and loud, she's actually incredibly bland as a character right now.
Very weird. And again, that just goes to show, image and like the look is one thing, but if you have no story going for you, it's hard for the wrestling audiences to, like, you know, be connected and invested in you. Right now, right, the reason why Alexa is still popular is because there's so many sims for her, and like they will just love her no matter what, right?
I put my hand like admit where the Alexa shrimps at. Put your hands up right now. Take your hand away from your crotch and put it up right now.
I am a casual sim. See, I put up both hands to show that my hands are doing good things right now. Yeah, so like that's the reason, right? It's like you support your favorite wrestler no matter what, but you can acknowledge that, you're not really doing anything with your favorite wrestler. So I do hope that there is some revelation happening with Bray Wyatt and Alexa, because that. Yeah, people complain about her time as the Fiendess, as they say it.
Yeah.
But she was prominent, doing great work on television, and she actually could pull it off. So why not, right?
Yeah, oily hair and everything, huh? Okay.
Yeah. Sotong squid sauce all over the face.
Damage Control to me is quite bland right now. Also, Dakota Kai and Io Sky, something needs to. Remember when Io Shirai was the baby face, and then we were like, oh, she's kind of bland, and then she turned heel. Now she's already heel, but she's a bland heel. So like, I don't know what it's gonna take to make Kai and Sky interesting right now.
Keep her gear black. Let her play her old music, because that anime Mafia music was the bomb. Yeah, that was so dope. I felt like I was in Tokyo, man, like Bullet Train, doing some shit.
Irvin says Io and Kai knows chemistry. That is very true. Like in the ring, it's all right, but on the mic, they literally have nothing in common. I almost would put Io, Sky, and Asuka together. Why not double turn? They swap partners.
They do matching swapping partners. I mean, I don't know.
Like think about this, alright? Like this is like the Kabuki Warriors Part 2. You can have Asuka doing her in Japanese, of course, not in English. And then you have Io Sky at the back doing her like I don't know what look that is. You know, where she bends backward and she has like
the geisha look. I guess.
Yeah, whatever. Like,
but
she's high on some shit.
I do have to admit that doing that might sound convenient, but it also feels very lazy. Also, two Japanese women, just put them together. Fuck. You know what I mean? But
well, it's better than their current matchups right now. Their current matchups are doing nothing for them.
Yeah, so if they actually kind of show what is it that they do, or like have a story. Again, it's all about the story, bro. You can have two most random people, like Sami Zayn and the Bloodline technically don't make sense, right?
Yeah. No, but I
But
mean,
it's the
okay, yeah,
story
that goes
forward.
to Sami Zayn, and it's not even. Here's the thing: we all have heard, right, that the Sami Zayn storyline is it was supposed to have been like a couple of weeks, and then he's gonna, tag up with Kevin Owens or move on to something with Kevin Owens, maybe Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos. But and kudos to Triple H, unlike a certain Tony Khan. Triple H knows how to capitalize, or something is hot right now, let's just go with it for a few more weeks. Instead of,
Yeah.
oh no, let's just follow the plan we have very rigidly, Tony.
Yeah. So I think we in Triple H we trust, but again we have to admit, like the women's tag team division, they have been trying to give it more importance, but it's still very hard for us to connect as fans. So it really needs some Sasha Banks and Naomi right now, to be honest.
If your champion is unconvincing as a team and you only have literally one other team, that's not a division.
Yeah.
Like you have who else? Raquel and Shotzi. Because even Raquel and Aaliyah made no sense and had zero chemistry also.
Yeah, but remember the tag team tournament who they had, but they got injured. Toxic Attraction.
Yeah.
Would have been an interesting part. Yeah.
Could have been. All right, let's move on then. The cage match. Okay, Drew McIntyre, Karrion Kross. Remember going into this, we were like, it doesn't matter who wins, they both lose. I feel like that's what has happened here. Even with Scarlett still doing her shenanigans, she still lost, right? Karrion Kross still lost. It was a hard-hitting match, don't get me wrong. Yeah. I feel like it's Karrion Kross. Like, I'm done. Not say done. Like, I don't know what can make Karrion Kross come across as a more menacing, because he's already like a big guy, he's jacked, he's a hot valet, he has creepy music, but something about it just doesn't work.
So Karrion Kross comes across as a cross guy. Okay. I'm done with all my
cross jokes.
Okay, wait. Yes, wait. Karrion Kross, right? Like we've already said, you've even established from his time in NXT. When he was NXT champion, didn't you say you find him boring?
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And then like we said, like if it wasn't because of Scarlett, him on his own, he can't make it. Right? But
is he suffering from the Mark Marrow problem? So at some point, are they going to turn him against Scarlett, and then his career goes down the toilet?
Then Scarlett become like the Sable of the WWE. It's just Sable matches. Scarlett fucking wins the women's championship just because she's hot.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, okay, did you enjoy the match as it is?
I think it was a hard-hitting match. I think it was all right. But yeah, and maybe it's his work as well. It's not bad, but it doesn't stand out to me.
Yeah, and technically this is his first loss on main roster television. I mean, don't count the previous time, but in this run, right?
Yeah.
And he has been in the company for 3 months, exactly, apparently. So that came out like some stat. So I don't know, man. If he was on probation, right, I would say he just did like a okay job lah. Can be better lah.
And I think this is also a case of them booking themselves into a weird corner, right? Like if Drew lost, Drew would have looked like shit. And if Karrion lost, in this case he did, I think he did look like shit. So, I mean, it was a cool moment to have the drones make the sword, and they had several drone moments as well. Once again, woo!
Love the drones, and we know how much drones cost, It's really they really got money to kill, Wait. So right, remember how when Kross debuted, he beat up Drew McIntyre in front of Roman Reigns, and everyone thought, wow, this guy can be a main eventer, like future challenger for Roman Reigns title. Right now, 3 months in, I think he's mid-card right now.
Yeah, maybe upper mid-card, but you're right, mid-card. Maybe have him go for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, like keep him at that level, because he's proven that he can do promos, right? No problem with promo. But when you put him in the ring with Drew McIntyre looks bigger, better body, looks cooler, looks like a main eventer star.
Yeah.
And he kind of looked like just a guy with tattoos. So it's like it's hard lah, because like we've seen people like that. We've seen like people like Aleister Black, Malakai Black, who not really looks like a main eventer, but because he has been put in a position to like excel, he felt believable as like NXT champion, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think he needs some work lah.
Alvin
Not there
says
yet.
make him Nikki Cross's brother. Oh my god. I finally got it. Nikki Cross and Karrion Cross. One with K, one with C.
Oh my god.
Yeah, his backstory right now, I still don't get why he is
Yeah.
what he is, who he is, right? Maybe I think I mentioned this in previous shows in podcasts. Maybe just have him start bullying people. Bullying the smaller beloved wrestlers.
Yeah, like kill Ricochet lah. Who cares? Just kill him once in a while. Like let him kill Mustafa Ali.
I feel like he's going down the Heidenreich route. Like he's obviously a better wrestler than Heidenreich, you know. But to me, he's going down the Heidenreich route of like intimidating character. By all accounts, he should be a main event star, but it's just not working.
Yeah, he's missing something lah. And it's funny, bro. You mentioned Nikki Cross. Nikki Cross appeared in the tag team match, but we never even mentioned her factoring into the ending. That was how forgettable it was. I'm so sorry.
I mean, I'm glad that she's back as the Twisted Sister. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, unless she starts hanging out with Alexa Bliss and reforming that tag team, I don't know. I don't know what the point is of that.
So who said Jeff Hardy job for nothing? Maybe Jeff Hardy winning was the right call lah, because like for what he job for Karrion Cross doing what she's gonna do.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But guys, like I just really want to know like the listeners' opinions. Like, are you high on Cross, or like you also agree with us like that he's bland and not there lah?
I think nobody has said anything about Cross, and that's the worst.
Nobody has vehemently defended him.
Yeah, nobody loves him, nobody hates him. And that's actually the worst spot to be in, right? Where nobody just cares. It's just crickets.
Oh, that's tough, man. Especially if you're trying to make it in like world of entertainment and media. Like, no one cares. People are just sitting on their hands.
Sekali, the trick is to strip away all his gimmick, all his pyro entrance, stuff like that, and just have him be like this MMA guy. Remember on NXT he was like an MMA guy, but he got the fall and praise. Like, yeah, it's the same problem as I had with his character in NXT. You have the look, but you don't have the why are you like this.
And I thought he was good at storytelling. I thought he was good at explaining his character, right?
No, yeah, but I think he falls into that same category of people like Malachi Black, who, he a bit shook Sindiri into his own mythology and nobody else gets it. Everyone's like, what the fuck is this? Yeah, and it's not like he has Bray Wyatt's, and we'll get to Bray Wyatt in a bit. It's not like he has Bray Wyatt's talent. Like, Bray Wyatt has a very, very special talent.
I get it.
He can promo and people will believe it, even though his storyline, his current feud is nonsense. He can still draw people in. Karrion, not so much. No.
Yeah. He only cut that one promo when he came back that I was really intrigued when he said like it's time to change the timeline. Like I really felt like, oh, okay. It's basically like an alternate universe with him destroying everything.
You know what it is? He uses cool phrases, very meta phrases, but then after that, nothing. No, there's a lot of cool substance, but no meat. There's a lot of flavoring, but no body.
Yeah. I wanted to say, make a joke, like I would say like it's like a sex life, like he got no existent sex life. A lot of promises, but then like cannot deliver the goods at the end. You know what I mean?
But then you look at Scarlett, so I'm like, at least he's already won in life, so whatever lah. Huh?
Yeah, it's just us being being thrust at him. Who does he really care what we think?
No, Div is like, Scarlett also needs to be more than the supportive wife. Oh my, I never thought of Scarlett as the supportive wife, but it makes sense, right? Okay, how's this for a storyline? Scarlett does a tell-all. Like, the Scarlett one day, she does like a backstage thing, like, like a sit down with JR, but there's no JR, like a sit down expose. And she's all like, actually, I'm not into this weird bullshit lifestyle. It's this, I just want to be supportive wife, and cater to his wild, dark fantasies. Actually, I just want to be soccer mom. How about that?
No, bro, I tell you, I've watched Scarlett Bordeaux when all the way when she debuted on Impact, right, bro? She on her own is a star. She can promo. She can be this like sex vixen and like fuck you up. Like he really can be this generation Sable. My thinking is they purposely is like keeping her quiet or like underutilizing her because they're trying to highlight Karrion Cross. if you know that Karrion Kross has been given this opportunity and he can't really deliver, fuck it. Like let her be this vixen that overshadows Karrion Kross.
Okay, what about let her be that wife that basically brings up the husband lah, you know? So like instead of ditch the supernatural gimmick because it makes no sense. You already have Bray Wyatt doing spooky shit, and in his character, it doesn't make sense for him to be doing the apocalypse time is now, blah blah blah, all that bullshit, right? So have him use his wife to mind game other, like, you know, the
Guys.
people that he's feuding with, like, yeah, and then like, you know, have her mess with their mind, and then that's how he gets his wins, that kind of thing. Yeah, does that make more sense?
That's what they were doing at the beginning. I don't know why they dropped it, because remember there was periods where it was like who was it? Was it Drew McIntyre? And then like suddenly just Scarlett just came and talked to him, and then she was the one delivering the message.
Yeah.
Be that kind, like she like really the harbinger of like doom lah.
No.
Like
Get rid of that shit. Harbinger of doom, all this bullshit. No more. Have her be the conniving manager who literally outright flirts with Roman Reigns. How about this? I'm gonna pitch you a storyline right now. We have Scarlett, smoke show, hot as F, right? Goes and starts trying to get in with the bloodline, telling whispering secrets into Roman Reigns' ear. Actually, I want to get away from this Karrion Kross, you know, lousy husband, blah 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 blah, all that kind of stuff, right? Really, like, you know, and that's how you create sort of that dissension. You know what I mean? So she's the shit disturber. But actually, this whole time she's trying to get her man a shot, get him away into a title match or something like that, right?
Bro, I would agree this with you 100%. If it was in the Attitude Era, bro.
You don't see. Here's the thing. I'm not saying go up to Roman Reigns and show her tetes. Like, come on, like this is 2022. You can have subtle storytelling. You know what I mean? Just like have her whisper, like, you know what? Like what Rhea Ripley is doing. Just whisper in Roman's ear. Hell, you start at the bottom of the rung, right? You start with Sami Zayn. Then you move up to the tribal chief. Whisper into the tribal chief. Oh, got camera. Close the door. Bro.
Oh, that's kind of like, okay. I like that. I like that subtlety. Can you imagine, right? One day, like she walks up in the room, and then she just like into the locker room, and then Roman Reigns says like, "What do you want?" And then she like goes up to him.
No, she says, "What do you want?" Closed door. Bam! Bro! WWE, please hire me. Right, your salacious storylines.
Bro, you better toe that line before you become Vince Russo a bit. You just stick it right at the line.
Vince says, try to seduce Solo.
Oh dear God, Solo. The whole part of Solo is to not break character. If he break character, he's gone already.
No. You have to go straight for the top dog. This sort of character must go straight for the top dog. Cannot go for like underling one.
I think if Karrion has a program with Roman, this can be a way to make him feel like a threat.
Yeah.
By having this Scarlet factor, I think that would be really, really cool.
So my whole point is not have Scarlet just be the end is coming. Like what does that even mean? You know, to Div Royalty's point, she's just being supportive wife. No, she needs to be conniving, get into people's heads, thinking that she's on their side. Actually, no, she's helping her man destroy you.
Make her a star. I think that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like she is been on WWE TV for a while, but she hasn't had the opportunity to be a star on her own. She feels like just a valet, which is very doing her this service lah.
And okay lah, if it doesn't work out for Karrion, at least you built another star in Scarlet, right? So you've gotten yourself a Sable, you've gotten yourself a Maria Kanellis.
Yeah. So there's either she becomes the Sable of the division, or she becomes Maria Kanellis, which is like
which like is basically we've just thrown Karrion Kross out of the window.
Yeah.
We buried him.
You put both of them together, I tell you, no one is gonna be looking at Karrion Kross.
Yeah,
you ask Div Royalty whether she wants to look at Karrion Kross when there's Scarlett there.
Okay, fine. Let's move on then. Judgment Day versus the OC. Wow, this poor Carl Anderson. Okay, you know what? They probably paid them a lot of money, so that's why they basically came back to drop over and over again to the Judgment Day.
Who cares when you're getting Saudi money, bro?
Yeah, I think the whole point of this is to put the Judgment Day over, as they should, right? Being the hot new, quote-unquote, hot new faction.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything you want to bring up from this match other than the fact that I guess the right team won?
Well, I am actually more intrigued to bring up what happened on Raw, bro, because I
Oh.
think the fallout from Raw is much more intriguing than what happened on this match at Crown Jewel. Do you see what happened on Raw, bro?
No, I have not. Like immediately afterward, I came back. I took a nap. I was way
Okay,
too
so
tired. So
no
no
social
idea.
media, right?
No.
Okay, great. So what happened was,
Oh man, great! Now you're gonna spoil it for me. Thanks, bro. Okay, go ahead.
bro, you know that you're gonna see it anyway. Okay, I think it's worth checking out. Not watching the whole Raw, but I think it's worth checking out. So like Seth Rollins, which is conspicuous by his absence. I think it's first time he didn't attend a Crown Jewel. So that he was sorely missed on the show, I guess. But he came out on Raw. He did his US Open challenge. One person that came out was Finn Balor.
Okay.
Yeah, so Finn Balor was saying, hey, because of you, you ruined my entire run, blah blah blah. Because he was the one that lost the title, the Universal title to him, right? So he wanted to challenge him for the title. And before that match could happen, the OC came and interrupt, right? Typical. So like now it's like the faction facing against each other. Seth Rollins skidded slimily out of the picture, and then AJ Styles said, "We figured out how to beat you guys. The issue here is not beating you like 3-on-3 because we could do that any day of the week, but it's because you guys have Rhea Ripley on your side.
Yeah.
So we figured out a way to deal with the Rhea problem. So they brought back a formerly fired superstar to be the female enforcer of the OC. Can you guess who it is?
Formerly fired.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not Sarah Logan. Sarah Logan is back with the with her husband. What's the Viking Raiders?
I can give you three clues. Married to a superstar that is in AEW right now. That's first clue.
Married to a...
Chat, don't help. Chat, don't help.
Wait. Did they bring back Lana?
Oh, good guess, but no.
Oh, okay. Whoo, thank goodness. I can't imagine Lana all of a sudden. She's the solution to the Rhea problem. Like, huh?
Yeah, okay.
She's married
not that. Okay, I give a second clue.
Second clue.
She is not related to any of the OC, but she made her name in NXT. She didn't do well on the main roster, let's put it that way.
Made her name in NXT.
And she was released recently, and the husband is in AEW.
I can't, bro. I can't. Who is it?
Okay. Okay, one more clue.
One more clue.
One more clue. You know already who it is. She was from Retribution.
Mia Yim.
Yes.
Oh, Mia Yim is married to Keith Lee, right? Okay, there you go, Mia Yim. Oh, okay. That's underwhelming. I was like, what big name? Okay, Mia Yim.
It's not a big name, it's a normal name. But the crowd agreed with you, Mr. Young. So the crowd was like, went mild.
Because to be fair too, like on the main roster, she was nobody. She was what was her name even on the main roster in Retribution?
Renegade. I don't know.
Yeah. But okay, so Mia Yim is now the solution. So
so Mia Yim will be facing off against Rhea. I guess they wanted to get a younger Beth Phoenix while Beth Phoenix is not around lah.
Yeah, they're saving Beth Phoenix for Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, so now they put in one Mia Yim first lah.
Yeah. So now Mia Yim is gonna be hanging around with the OC. I mean, she did kind of color coordinate and like look like the part, but well, who's really looking forward to Mia Yim versus Rhea Ripley, bro? I mean,
whatever lah. If anything, new faces are always good. It keeps the product fresh, and since they just made like however hundreds of millions of dollars, okay lah, just throw out some contracts here and there lah. What's it to them, right?
Yeah, exactly, right. So, well, that was the most interesting part about the match from Crown Jewel, because the Crown Jewel match was completely forgettable.
Yep. Because, and also you have to remember that the OC had been picking up loss after loss after loss before this, and now they lose again at Crown Jewel. So if this was just to drive the fact that, they were going to push a Mia Yim Rhea Ripley match or some sort of a multiple men-woman match, I'm like, okay, I guess, but I guess it's something for the Judgment Day to do before they line the Judgment Day up against somebody else. And that somebody else is Edge and Beth.
Yeah. Until the Edge and Beth situation happens, right? You know what needs to be done? What? Rhea needs to go after the women's title at least once.
Yeah. I honestly though, I would rather her, that's the thing. I don't know if she should have that match versus Beth first, then move on to the title picture, or move on to the because I feel like if she were to go after the title now, she needs to win it. She doesn't just need to go after Bianca. She needs to win the title, and then defend the title against Beth. That doesn't work, right?
Are you telling me save the Rhea title win for WrestleMania?
I see, unless
yeah.
Rhea versus Beth is the WrestleMania match.
Yeah, so like Rhea versus Beth WrestleMania match, I think I'm fine. But I think Rhea has nothing else that she can do other than beat up men until she does something like significant, which is go for the women's title, right?
I mean, Irvin suggests Beth screws Rhea out of the title, so yeah, maybe she can have that match with Bianca. But then, okay, how about this? Wait, I had it in my mind and I forgot already.
Okay.
Rhea versus Beth at Rumble, then Rhea versus Bianca at WrestleMania, and Rhea has her moment when she wins at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I want a Rhea road to WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Honestly, I will be the first to campaign for Rhea to lose the match to Beth because like Beth kind of gets a revenge back, right?
Yeah.
But then enters the Royal Rumble and wins the Royal Rumble.
Oh, okay. That's one way to do it. I would just book her to beat Beth. Like, yeah, it's gonna be a back and forth, but I want Beth to pass her the torch, right? And then have her be like, you know what? I've beaten legends. It's time for me to go after the title. It's time for me to focus. Enough of this Dominic stuff. I mean, well, she's still gonna be with Dominic lah. But then let's not forget Dominic versus Ray has to be a WrestleMania match too.
Yeah. So like, I can foresee the Judgment Day going after different things. My question is, where does this leave Damian Priest? Where does this leave Finn Balor? What can they do? Because the path for Dominic and Rhea is pretty clear.
Yeah.
But there's these two other guys who are very underutilized, or as you have put it, bland as it is.
No. Damian Priest looks good, sounds good. Finn Balor has been the one who's been bland for some reason.
Yeah, Finn Balor, his best time was like the Prince in NXT lah. Like, I think that was his level lah, bro. Maybe he's just meant to be doing indie stuff or New Japan stuff.
Ooh.
Maybe WWE is not really.
Maybe he's okay. Like, is it wrong for me to compare him to AJ? Zayden, what's up? Just compared. Suggested Finn versus AJ. You know, AJ. Yes, he had that main title run, but after that, it's like he's like one of those guys. He's like a Dolph Ziggler. You know, you give him a main title run because he clearly deserves it. He holds on to it for a while. He has that moniker of former champion. You know, he's a good hand, a good worker. He can put anybody over, make other people look good, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's his lot. Like, he was the first Universal Champion. Nobody can take that away from him. And he'll, from then on, be the guy who makes other people look good.
If Finn versus AJ goes to WrestleMania and they did what they did at Crown Jewel and acknowledge Bullet Club, I think it will be a nice little match to cater to those fans, right?
Then what about Damian Priest?
Oh man, okay. I like Damian as a mid-card champion. Like, I really like his US title run.
Yeah.
You know what it should be?
What?
Damian Priest versus Bad Bunny.
He turns on Bad Bunny.
Turn heel on Bad Bunny, bro.
That's the call. And when is this Bad Bunny movie coming out? Isn't he making like a Spider-Man movie or something?
Oh yeah, that Mil Muertes. Oh fuck. Yeah.
He can, to promote the movie, go and fight Damian Priest.
Yeah, you know what? I think that would be a match that definitely happens because now Damian has fully turned heel.
Yeah.
Then like, you know, when he comes back, he can like, hey, you know, like, bro, blah blah blah, amigo. Then suddenly kind of beaten up by the Judgment Day.
Question: is this gonna lead us to a situation where WrestleMania, right? It's like Logan Paul. You know Logan Paul is gonna be there. You got Bad Bunny. You got Johnny Knox. Like, basically half the matches are celebrity matches.
Okay, but I don't mind because these celebrity matches, if they are done well, like built up well, and you know, so far all of them, I don't know about Johnny Knoxville, but the rest of them can deliver in the ring. Why not? Right?
Sure.
Why not?
Okay. Referee Ryan, what's up? He says, did someone say Battle Royale? McAfee versus Logan Paul. Oh my God, we forgot about McAfee. He's probably going to be back during that time too.
Yeah, you see, McAfee versus Logan Paul versus Red Bunny in a triple threat celebrity match.
And then you realize actually it was the wrestlers making them look good, huh? No. McAfee versus Wade Barrett for Michael Cole's love.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh, McAfee versus Corey Graves for the battle of the new announcers.
Yeah. Because they've talked shit about each other before as well on commentary, right? Okay, let's move on. We're going way off track here.
For sure.
Oh boy. Braun Strowman versus Omos. You know what? I will say this. I think my standard for Omos is so low. When I saw him there and he was like talking trash, I was like, okay lah, got improvement. That's what I felt. I don't know if you felt the same.
Okay, I need to say I'm biased. I watched the press con, and honestly, the press conference like make me hype for Omos versus Braun Strowman. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they did.
How? Who did either of them talk during the press conference?
Oh yeah, they were shit talking each other. They it looked like a boxing press conference, definitely between the both of them, or like a UFC.
Okay.
Because one thing I never really appreciate, right, is that Omos has a fucking scary voice, bro. He's like growls like a bear. Bro.
So maybe somebody told him that, and that was what he was doing in the ring. The only thing is he needs like more trash talking lines. Maybe MVP can help him out because it felt like he was saying the same thing over and over and over again. I'm like, bro, get some new material.
He's like main thing he keeps saying.
But you know what I mean, right? He kept saying the same line over and over again.
But like in that press conference, I think what I realized is that Braun Strowman is actually beloved by the Saudi fans. Like he come in like he fucking Tyson Fury, bro. Like, everyone's like cheering for him.
Bro, don't forget he was the first greatest Royal Rumble winner. You know, he had the green color belt. Remember the green belt?
Yeah, he did. So like for a big man match, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I think this is better than Great Khali versus Kane. You know,
Yeah.
It's definitely better than fucking like Mark Henry versus Big Show.
I will say this. They did this match in the right place. The fans appreciated the spectacle, and maybe the fans haven't been watching enough to get sick of Omos, because you know Omos was so poorly booked previously, right? That when this finally happened, it was like, wow, what a spectacle! Big, huge, towering men just beating the piss out of each other.
Yeah, they make a good like they really did a good job. Yeah, they really did a good job making Omos felt like a threat. Despite all the bad booking, I think they really focused on his natural natural qualities lah. Him as a giant, he towering over Braun Strowman, who is already huge. And they play into the fact that whether can they body slam each other, and when he was teetering, they did it the right way, and you said they did it at the right place.
Yeah.
So,
Irvin says, I wonder how WWE is edited in Saudi. Actually, that's a very good question. You know, do they get full Raw and SmackDown, or do they get like a magazine show, like a Superstars, or do they even get it on free TV, or is it like a cable thing? You know, all that actually comes into play because, like I said, if you've never really watched Omos Braun Strowman before, or any of like what they've been doing on Raw and SmackDown and whatnot, right, for the past couple of months, if you are just there live seeing these two gigantic towers of humanity for the first time, of course you're gonna pop. And then you remember Braun Strowman from a few years ago. He was, this is the guy who won the big battle royale, right? Of course you're gonna cheer him what?
Yeah, exactly, right? And like they like spectacle. I think they are very used to like larger than life characters from their wrestling, right? I don't know. Remember there was this one story about them wanting to bring Yokozuna and Andre the Giant to the show because they thought that they are still alive.
Right. Yeah. So there you go.
You know,
a
generation behind.
No immovable object and unstoppable force reference. Hey, what really? The commentators need to step up, bro. Why didn't they say that line?
Immovable that is like
object.
A low hanging fruit right there. They can just use it anytime.
Talking about the commentators, was it only Cole and Barrett?
It was. I didn't hear any Corey Graves or. My thinking is because like it's very close to Raw, so I think they didn't want to use all of the Raw people.
Right.
Yeah, because that could be the reason as well. Yeah.
They have mentioned before like PLEs or premium live events would be Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Just two of them only calling all the matches. So I was actually very surprised when I heard Wade Barrett's voice. I mean, I enjoy Wade Barrett's commentary, don't get me wrong, but I was like, how come it's Wade Barrett?
Yeah. I didn't take me away from the event though. I really thought like their chemistry is fine. And Wade Barrett has this very nice gravitas to his voice. It makes the matches feel very professional and very like well done.
Yeah, and
But
he's also a former wrestler who's had matches and championships and stuff like that. So he brings with him a sense of legitimacy as well.
Can't forget the Nexus, bro. I mean, that was one interesting period in WWE. Okay, wait. Did you see what Braun Strowman tweeted or not?
No, what did he tweet?
Oh, you didn't see what he tweeted,
No,
bro.
no.
Oh, he stirred shit, bro. So he stirred shit on Twitter because after the match, he said that, oh, look at this. 2 giants could produce a 47 5-star match. We are much better than all these flippy floppers.
Okay,
So
hold on. I don't know about 5-star match, but it was not a bad match. Sure, I'll give you a pat on the back there, but I don't know about 5-star match, bro.
Okay, the funny thing about Braun Strowman is like just when you start to like him again, then he will shoot himself in the mouth and say stupid things on Twitter.
Bro,
but the funny thing is, he actually got a response from Mustafa Ali.
Who said?
Mustafa Ali took it to heart. Then he said, "Can you teach me how to get fired?"
Oh.
So now this is a whole thing, bro. This is a whole thing.
Okay, you know what? I'm a very if it was like Shawn Michaels or even Dolph Ziggler who said something like that, at least okay. Fucking Mustafa Ali want to talk shit for what? Who you? Every time they've given Mustafa Ali a chance to shine, he's not. So relax, bro. Like, I feel like Mustafa Ali, no wonder he has heat backstage. He's one of those, he always has a chip on his shoulder. Warranted or not, actually, now that you've told me about this whole Twitter exchange, right? I'm more inclined to dislike Mustafa Ali than I am to dislike Braun Strowman. Like, Braun, you know what Braun comes across to me as? A simple oaf. I hate using that term, but he's just a simple guy. He just enjoys doing what he wants. I will only wrestle for the WWE. That's it. And there's something to like about that. It's respectable. You know what I mean? Whereas Mustafa Ali got a lot of snide comments, but he's never made it. Like, he can do cool videos on Twitter. That's about it. When you put him on Raw, cut a promo, bleh. Like,
is it something in Chicago that makes everyone there have a chip on their shoulder?
You know what? Actually, I feel like Mustafa Ali would be great in AEW. Like, he would love it there, but he would be one of the flippy floppy crew and he would not climb the cart at all. He would just be one of the guys who gets to do what they love to do, but never draw a cent.
He feels like an AEW superstar then.
No. AEW pro wrestler, bro.
Pro wrestler, yes.
You just need...
Not a sports entertainer, pro wrestler.
No. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, now that you've told me this story, I roll my eyes, at this fella.
Well, honestly, it would be somebody like him to take offense to it, because he is literally the flippy flopper that he's talking about, right?
Well, okay, look. At the end of the day, Braun Strowman went on Twitter. You know what he was trying to do? He was trying to control his narrative. That's all. I was holding on to that joke for a while. I was like, shit. I'm just looking for the right time.
That's the right time. Drop that.
Okay. I think because the bar was set very low, this exceeded expectations because the bar literally was on the floor for this one for me.
Yeah. I enjoyed the match for what it was. And you know what? If nothing else, it actually made Omos felt like a threat. So well done for that.
With no MVP as well. So
and I like his song, by the way. I'm like vibing with his song. It's like this Nigerian UK grunge thing.
Doesn't he rap on his song?
Is it him rapping?
It sounds like him, right? He has this roll and voice.
I don't know whether it's him, but bro, I tell you, any UK black fans of any UK techno grime, is that what we call it?
Grime. I don't know. I'm just throwing out random genres that sound like it. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. It does sound like Stormzy, but that's the thing.
The Usos. There you go. Half a second lag. It's fine though. Versus the Brawling Brutes. I mean, this one we know what's going to happen. The Brawling Brutes are not going to win the titles, especially not that they've announced on SmackDown the Usos versus the New Day for the streak, right? The number of days.
They kind of spoiled the ending. But then again, nobody expected anything less, right, than the Usos winning.
It's kind of sad because I thought that with Sheamus and, that whole series with Imperium, at least Rich Holland and Butch would get elevated. But now that Sheamus just went off to get married, and congratulations to Shamo, right?
Moose.
It's like they're kind of there now.
Floundering?
Yeah. I
I
wouldn't say
mean,
floundering, they're just there.
they are not as compelling without Sheamus. I think Sheamus was the mouthpiece for so long.
Yeah.
If they had taken the time to develop the rest of the characters,
Mm.
do you remember the last time Rich Holland actually had mic time?
Yeah.
No,
No.
right?
No, I can't. I remember one time they tried to give him mic time and the crowd died. Like Sheamus was cutting a promo, then he gave it to Rich Holland, and then Rich Holland started talking, and the crowd went silent.
Yeah, maybe that's why. So like maybe they're not ready for that mic time, but
Uh,
I like the fact that Usos were given like a very grand entrance.
Mm.
It's nice to see them treated like the stars of the tag team division.
yeah.
My only issue is that beyond Brawling Brutes, who is next? Is it heel versus heel? You want to do Imperium? Because New Day had a match on Raw today. Like I think it was like a 6-man. So the New Day and Riddle versus Solo Sikoa and Usos.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So and I think Xavier Woods cut this very fire promo about like how because their record, they're going after their record, right? This Friday on SmackDown, the record is on the line because if Usos win, then they surpass New Day as the longest running champions in history.
Champs. Yeah.
I think like they're fighting for that legacy. So maybe they wanted to. It felt random when they suddenly said both are gonna fight again. But
Yeah.
I think the reason why they're doing it is because they wanted to have this as part of the storyline context.
Zayden says, "You're not Usi Chance." Yeah, there's the Sami Zayn effect right there.
Yeah, you're
Oh my god.
Uzi.
Zayden says, Logan and Jake Paul, the Pauls, go after the tag team titles. Imagine if they are the ones who dethrone. Why not?
I wouldn't put it past WWE to do it.
Yeah.
WrestleMania.
Yeah. Not the main titles. You can't have them winning the main title, right? Like, but the tag team titles, maybe? So, okay, then the question is, do you keep the Usos strong all the way to WrestleMania so they have to surpass the New Day's record?
Yeah, clearly, I think Usos are much more relevant right now than New Day, and they are a bigger draw. So keep the titles on them until a worthy challenger arrives. I mean, Rated RK Bro was my last pick, but then it seems like that's not the direction that they're going anymore.
Well, and Randy needs time to heal if he can even return at that, So, I mean, yeah, it is a very interesting, like, what are the Street Profits doing these days? There's kind of just there, right? And then you got Otis and Gable. Unfortunately, they are jobber tag team.
Yeah, Street Profits has been quite quiet the last couple of weeks or months.
Actually, I'm okay with that. I feel like they need to take a break. I don't know if one of them is injured. I think it might be the case, but they need to like maybe just be quiet for a while and then make a big splash. Like in a few months, right? You gotta go away so that we miss you, right? And of course, they've been teasing the Viking Raiders, of course. I don't know why, but it's like, okay, here's the thing about the Viking Raiders. They show their stupid vignettes and boom, 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 like macam like Viking camp or something like that.
Like God of War, Valhalla.
Oh, God of War, Ragnarok, the new game launches at midnight, bro. I'm excited.
Oh, shit, tonight. Okay. That was like a cheap God of War plug, man. Thanks.
I know. Where did that come from? But I'm going to the launch tonight. Actually, the PlayStation launch.
Where is that gonna be held at, bro?
Design Orchard. I also don't know where that is.
Oh, okay, dope.
Anyway,
have fun. Have fun.
Yeah, I will. Thank you. The point is though, right? Like those vignettes, you see them, and then like for the past couple of weeks, you've been seeing just the. I'm very used to these stupid Viking vignettes. I'm actually quite bored of them because it's just Ivar and what's the other guy's name?
Eric and Ivar, yes.
Eric and Ivar, right? And then recently, got Tete. I'm like,
Tete?
As in, they only show glimpses of body parts.
Okay.
Then all of a sudden got random Viking Tete. I'm like, oh, must be Sarah Logan.
My. I thought you suddenly said like it just turned into an R-rated show like Spartacus, like
no.
like nudity for some reason.
No. Like how they like to like do little like cuts of red like fire, wood, a shield, a sword, eyeball, such like certain body parts, right? And then recently the vignettes got booby. I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, Sarah Logan must be coming back with the Vikings.
Okay, what a weird way of going about it, but sure.
Oh, so I guess maybe the Viking Raiders are due another push Push number how many already? Is this their fourth push?
Well, man, like where was the last time they were actually relevant? To me, it was NXT.
Yes. The problem is in their main roster run, they've been push, come back, push, job, and they've never had any sort of sustained push. Remember the first run when they were doing basketball with the Street Profits and
Oh yeah, I remember that.
doing, what was it, like axe throwing, and I'm like, oh god, okay.
Do you remember the very first time they debuted on Raw? They were called the Viking Experience and just destroyed the entire momentum.
Yeah, that's right. So hopefully now with Sarah Logan, they will like go back to their Viking roots.
Oh well, we shall see. You never know. I mean, Triple H loves his God of War. I mean, he almost looks like Kratos, so
yeah, maybe
he will have a love for it.
Irvin says they're supposed to go with Brock. Brock rejected them. Can you imagine bro? To combat the bloodline, you have the Viking bloodline. Brock and the Viking Raiders, bro.
The Ragnaroks. the Ragnarbrocks.
Ragnarbrocks. Oh god, that's hilarious, dude.
You know what? If like Brock Lesnar wants to like randomly go to the tag team division and like help a tag team, like, why not? I think that's like a perfect fit, bro.
Yeah, then they all like come out on like legit Viking ships and like friggin' let's go, bro. Okay, let's move on.
Yes,
let's move on.
That's funny. Yeah.
Bianca Belair versus Bayley, and this was a bit of a scary match because of that one bump, right? Where Bayley landed on it was a bump off the golf cart onto the table, but the table didn't break. So Bayley essentially landed head first onto the table, which didn't break.
It was similar to the Julia Hart table spot, remember? But when Julia Hart fell off the side of the apron and missed the table, kind of.
Yeah, it is similar but different in that, because that one, Julia Hart had to fall backwards, right? Mm-hmm. This one, wasn't it like I forgot what the setup was, but I think Bayley had more control. It's just accidents happen, you know?
Yeah.
And here's the difference too. This one, they're doing it in a show where they're being paid millions, being seen by, this is a major show versus a random TV, a random Wednesday. Well, did that happen on Rampage or Dynamite? That Julia Hart.
I can't remember, but it was on TV. Yeah.
If it happened on Rampage, someone should talk to her about her priorities. Like, didn't Booker T say this is the truth of it? There's a certain time to take risks. Risk is always there in this industry, right? But if you are in the main event of WrestleMania, do the shooting star press. Take the big table bump because you want to make a name for yourself. Not on TV where in some match nobody gives a flying fuck about.
Yeah, exactly, right? So it is a bit of too much and too often for the AEW stars. Save your big moves for when there's the most amount of people seeing it, right?
See, but that's the problem with AEW and we put it all out there every single time. Yeah, that's why the crowd gets bored now. When you and now a table spot means nothing,
Yeah, exactly. So it's a bit tough. But for this match, I thought it was quite well done. I think it was even better than the ladder match, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. I thought so too. I mean, they try to put it out, and it's Bayley. We know Bayley can work. We know Bianca can work. So did this? But here's my problem though. I'm still like meh when it comes to Bianca.
Yeah. Like, do you think Bayley should have won that?
Maybe not. Like, I don't know. I find it very weird in that I find it very hard to care about the Raw Women's title right now. Because I think it's because of Bianca.
My argument is that if Bayley won, it would have reinvigorated the women's title scene.
Yeah.
It would have been a shock. And I think having Bayley carry the title as a heel champion going to Road to WrestleMania, I think would be interesting as well.
So why not have Nikki Cross interfere in this instead of the Damage Control match? And then you can have Cross versus Bianca Belair, so Belair has a side feud for a while.
Yeah, exactly, right? Because I feel like the tag team of Io Sky and Dakota Kai, they have had like the momentum like kicked out of them, right?
Yeah.
So why not keep the momentum strong with Bayley? So at least Bayley is still champion, even though their tag team partners keep losing the titles.
Why? And Like, I mean, if let's say Bailey became champion and Bianca went off to go and deal with Nikki Cross for a bit, right? Like, can you imagine the reaction when Bailey is like lauding her title on Raw? Oh, nobody can stop me. We're the champions. And then Naomi and Sasha Banks show up. And we know the history between
Yeah.
Sasha Banks and Bailey, and that sets up Survivor Series, that sets up Royal Rumble.
Yes, correct. And like imagine if like Bianca kena attacked by damage control all the time, and then Sasha Banks and Naomi comes and supports Bianca, and then now it's like 3-on-3. At least there is some war games connotations right there. You know, the possibilities are endless, but keeping it on Bianca makes it boring. That's my opinion.
So I think it goes back to the fact that Bianca is the Captain Marvel. She's too OP.
Exactly. You say it all the time, right?
Yeah.
Do you like the ending though?
What was the end already? I forgot.
The one where they stuck her in between the ladder, and they kind of like kept her underneath the corner.
Yeah. It was. I don't know why. Just looking at it visually, it looks like she could have just gotten out.
Right.
Okay, here's the thing, and this has become a cliche in these last man standing, last woman standing matches, where you literally bury people under a bunch of shit. What happened to the good old days of knocking a motherfucker out? When was the last time you saw somebody get knocked out until they were unconscious? Like, do they feel like it lowers them or something? Because remember the last one was Brock got buried under a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
So,
but the Brock one makes sense in the context of that match. My opinion.
So to me, this one didn't make sense. I wish Bianca knocked out Bailey.
Maybe they were this scared that it will completely ruin her momentum. I don't know.
I don't think so, because Bailey is not a monster. Bailey is a conniving heel. She's not like a, let's say this wouldn't make sense if Bianca Belair knocked out, let's say, Rhea Ripley, for example. Or Raquel Gonzalez, right? That wouldn't make sense. But Bailey, I think it's okay for her to take that sort of loss.
Yeah. Do you think, right, any of the wrestling company would have the balls to do like a very scary spot where, for example, they take like a spear, like how they sit on they sit on the barricade, and then somebody takes a spear and then they fall on the concrete outside?
Ooh, no.
You think they will dare to do it?
No, absolutely not. As it is, that table spot was already so scary because it didn't go the way it should have gone.
But in the context of that match, right? If you taking it from purely like a kayfabe perspective, right? I don't know how they can protect it, but if that was the finish and Bianca gets up and Bailey doesn't get up, people would really believe that like she couldn't get up because she was knocked out, right?
Unless you have it in like a corner where not a lot of people can see, and then you pad it with concrete colored padding.
Yeah, something like that. So make it seem like she took a very nasty spill and she couldn't get up, and people get worried for her safety.
Yeah,
but I don't a planned spot.
Yeah, but I don't know if the WWE wants to go that route also. Like, you know what I mean? Because they have a quote unquote a reputation. So, and maybe that's it. Maybe that's the whole issue with them being like these corporate goodwill ambassador things. It's like they can't do anything so ultra violent that they literally knock them out for a 10 count. It has to be, I bury you with a bunch of crap.
Can you imagine how simple that would have been? I mean, in the context of, I knocked him out because I fucking hit his head on the concrete and he's out.
Yeah.
Like, that would be
Okay, but you know what the problem is? Because they've been taking multiple chair shots to the head, people get whacked by baseball bat, all these, can get up. So you set the bar way too ridiculously, unbelievably high already. The threshold to knock a WWE superstar out is like you need a tank, essentially.
Bro, if in a legitimate case, somebody swing a freaking baseball bat on your head, right?
You die.
How the hell do you get up? Yeah, you're dead.
Bro, your concussion, you're in a coma, that kind of thing. So
crack your skull or what? I don't know.
Yeah, it's just maybe they just shouldn't do last person standing matches for a long time, and when they do it, actually make it count. But yeah, at this point, it's sort of like, it's a bit ridiculous, Going back to my whole argument that they've been doing way too many gimmick matches.
Yes, exactly. So I don't know, but like I did enjoy the match for what it was. But then again, you just mentioned that they had done a couple of last man standing matches in this year alone.
Yeah, and the finish was the same. Some sort of quote unquote creative burying.
Yeah, I hope they move on from each other because I don't think there's anything else Bailey can do. But how do you keep Bailey strong after this? Because Damage
Ooh.
Control supposed to came back with a lot of momentum, right?
Yeah. Somebody on Discord mentioned, what if Kai and Sky turned on Bailey? I don't think that would work. You know, I think really the next step is to have Naomi and Sasha come back, and since Sasha has a history with Bailey, and now Sasha and Naomi want to take the titles away from her her friends, that's how that feud will go lah. Irvin asks if chloroform has ever been used as a plot device.
I don't know.
Chloroform hasn't been used since like the 80s, I swear. Like 90s don't even have Attitude Era. Did they use chloroform? Actually, maybe they did.
I believe they may, you know. I feels very familiar. Chloroform feels like something that even Undertaker kena before, or like Kane or one
it
of
feels
them, right?
like something early 90s, late 80s have a lot. The 80s, the superstar era, a lot. Like golden era, a lot of chloroform, right?
Yeah. But that would have been cool.
You know why or not? Cool. Because the Attitude Era got a lot of influence from ECW, and that's where all the freaking ridiculous chair shots came in.
Yeah, exactly right. Zayden, I remember that. That was very memorable. Last Man Standing. Shane McMahon and Big Show. Remember when Shane McMahon jumped from a freaking high place and just killed Big Show?
Yeah. Shane. Let's not even get into Shane. Okay, so there you go. That's your last woman standing match, and we are here at the main event.
Yeah, man.
Logan.
Wait. I just acknowledge Haley lah. What's up,
Hello.
Hales? Don't worry. You're not late. You're just in time for our Logan Paul review.
For the main event of the evening, we shall acknowledge Roman Reigns versus Logan Paul. And can we just say, my God, this is Logan Paul's third match. He's in the main event of Crown Jewel. I know people argue that, okay, they put it on Crown Jewel because any other pay-per-view, it wouldn't fly. I think it would have. I think that Logan Paul has shut a lot of mouths. I think Logan Paul has shown that you don't need to be an indie darling. Yeah. If you put in the work and you freaking go with... And kudos to Roman Reigns for carrying his end of the bargain as well. But just watching the match, I was like, wow, you can't tell it's Logan Paul's third match. And it's got to be crazy for these NXT, these superstars who have been like slogging in the indies and doing jobber matches, dark matches. And then here's Logan Paul in the main event on his third match.
Well, okay, what do you think on the critics that say that him doing so well and getting this big push kind of like spits at the face of everyone who went through it the hard way? Like, remember they always say back in the day, all these old timers will say, oh, you have to pay your dues, pay your dues. And it makes it look like the industry is easy because like any outsider can come in and just do super well. What do you say to those kind of critics?
Well, that's the problem, right? Like, not the problem, but the thing. See, he brings with him 13 million eyeballs or however many people he has on his social media. And that is something, like in his realm, he's conquered it. He is the...
He is the table. He is the table, bro.
Acknowledge Logan. Yeah, he is the table. So if you're talking about putting in effort and raising his profile, he's already put in the time and effort. And he has a much higher profile than any of the WWE wrestlers. Right?
Combined. He is literally a cheat code, bro. He is literally the Saudi Arabia of wrestlers right now, bro.
Yeah, exactly, right? He is and then of course you have to see his performance. And yeah, like him or hate him, right? You can tell he put in the work. He's not in there like a Lawrence Taylor or somebody getting gassed out within the first 5 minutes running the ropes. No, he's hanging in there with Roman Reigns. I mean, Roman Reigns is selling like a mofo for him, you can tell. Like, I noticed even at the end, like when he's posing with the bloodline, he's still like, I kena lucky punch. I appreciated the sell, right? Like he's selling for Logan Paul, making and this is we called the match last week. Remember, at some point near the end, Logan Paul would get the lucky punch in, but it wouldn't be enough. And then of course at the start, the Tribal Chief doesn't take him seriously. This is very, I don't want to say predictable, but this is how the story for us longtime fans, we know this is exactly how this is gonna go.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
Bro, we predicted it last week exactly, like beat for beat, what was going to happen, right? And it did happen.
Yeah, and it was still exciting.
Yeah, that's the point, right?
Yeah,
Pro wrestling always works if you do it properly. It doesn't mean that it's predictable. It won't get the fans of the age of the seats.
Yeah. See, halfway through the match, I forgot all my quote unquote predictions and I was just invested in the selling, in the, moments, right? Like you had Logan Paul doing a buckshot lariat better than CM Punk, better than freaking Hangman Page. Like the guy looks like look, a lot of these indie guys, like instead of working on, I get it. I understand it as somebody in the media industry who's worked on his craft more than his appearance for many, many years. Trust me, when I say this, right, I consider myself one of those guys who would be like, oh, you didn't spend a lot of time in the industry, right? Like, what makes you think you can come in here? But after a while, you realize that, this is the industry. Looking a certain way, being physically capable and marketable, being able to draw tickets, that is part of the game as well.
Yeah.
It's not how much cardio you have. You can put on 6-star matches in a bingo hall. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Looking like $1 million, I think is a important part of the presentation of like as much as it's very tough to kind of accept.
Yeah.
And and I know like the people in the past go about it the wrong way. Like John Laurinaitis say, oh, I only look at lingerie models, Bruce Richards, blah blah blah. But then again, right, like there's a reason why Lex Luger got pushed. There's a reason why Hulk Hogan stood up. People remember all this while because he was larger than life. When I look into Logan Paul's background, like he was a high school wrestler, amateur wrestler as well. And honestly, he's in great shape. And you can tell that he's an athlete. So it's not as if like he's just some pudgy guy who just like, based on his star name, he definitely can look the part as a wrestler. Or he perhaps found what he was meant to do all along.
Yeah. Can you go and look at Brock Lesnar when he was the next big thing and tell him, excuse me, there's a line? No, you jump this motherfucker right ahead in front of the line, and especially after he wins the UFC heavyweight championship and then, you took away so much time from WWE, you have to get back in that. No, you put him right at the front because now he's a main event draw. He looks great. He can, and now we see he can perform. Logan Paul can perform, right?
And
is he going to put on a 5-star match? No, of course not. But the story that they told, like Roman Reigns did a fantastic job of carrying him through the match as well. Let's not forget that, right? It was enough because the moments were there, the beats were there, the story was there.
Yeah, and in wrestling, right? Like there's a couple of ways to get into the industry, right? Don't you feel like Logan Paul is like that blue chip prospect that WWE craves for? They talk about next in line, trying to create the new next WWE superstar. They literally found a cheat code wrestler. Like a guy that already has the fame, already has the celebrity of like The Rock, right? And he's so young. The crazy stat that hit me that I read was that he's actually a full 10 years younger than Roman Reigns. He's only 1 year older than MJF.
Wow.
So if you think about it, if he puts in the effort and he sticks with this business, he can literally be the next generation's top star, whether he's a top heel or what. He really has the clout for it.
And he's so smart business-wise doing it because he's done it for the past however many years with his boxing stuff, his YouTube stuff, right? He's only going to be involved in high profile. He's never going to be in the mid-card. He's not going to be in a match with Mustafa Ali. So he's always going to be positioned at that level because he brings with him this clout already.
Yeah, and if you think about it, right, and I've listened to his interviews, I watched or his podcast. He does have a genuine love for this business, and he did say that it took him a while to find it, but he believes that wrestling is his sport.
Yeah,
and it's where he feels he belongs.
So the critics being like, "Oh, this makes it look like anybody can come in," right? Yeah. Okay lah. Okay, you try. You ask freaking I don't know. Name me some random out of shape actor right now. Like
fucking like I don't know. Like
go and try.
Yeah, I know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like no, it's gonna show right away. And Logan Paul, if anything, during Crown Jewel, he showed that he has obviously put in the work and the time. Irvin says 5-star box office is better than 5-star match. Okay, you know what? That's a great point. It's kind of like you want to compare the Batman to Avengers Endgame. One made way more money than the other. Arguably, one movie was better than the other. You could say maybe you really, really like the Batman in terms of storytelling, but let's face it, more people have watched Endgame, more people rewatch Endgame, you know?
Yeah. I think I'll give you a better comparison. Like, name me like the most recent like Academy Award winner for Best Picture.
Okay, sure. Yeah, that's a great. It's like this small group of people sitting there judging it, going, "Bravo, bravo," versus
Yeah.
"Bravo" versus. No, that's a great analogy, bro. Because I always you hear about movies like how many Academy Awards, great acting. I go and watch, fucking boring as shit, right?
Yeah,
And then you have I love Martin Scorsese and stuff like that, but when he comes out and shits on Marvel movies and DC movies, I'm like, bro, this is just a different thing. Like, we can accept that both can, exist in the same realm or not, right?
Yeah.
Like, how many people have watched Endgame versus like some indie, bravo,
Mister Young, Bravo 2022.
the Bravo Awards, come, let's go.
Oh dear God. Okay, exactly right. And it's not as if like this is like mindless, stupid, like mainstream, like popcorn, like leave your brain at the door. Like these Marvel films, like at least some of the good ones, where they're good, they're really, really good.
Yeah.
And there's craft behind it, right?
Yeah, let's not say all. Some have been like recently, but I get what you're saying. Like, there is something, and I know there's a group of people, and a lot of indie wrestling fans are like this, right? They're like, oh, my wrestling needs to be a certain way. Like the people who love the Young Bucks, for example. And when they see the WWE, this homogenized, pasteurized product made for the masses, they turn their noses. Oh, that's not the type of, it doesn't make me go bravo. It doesn't give me 7 stars, 8 stars in the Tokyo Dome. Things like that,
If I was Dave Meltzer right now, honestly, I think he should give Logan Paul Best Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, no, 100%. Wait, when was his first match? This year, right?
Yeah. No, yeah, he appeared in WrestleMania previously, but he never wrestled. His first proper match was the Mysterios.
I agree with you 1000%. Actually, if you're talking about like legit, not just number of matches, but you see, their criteria always got number of matches. Oh, he's only had 3, doesn't count. He
had to have like minimum 10 or some shit like that, right?
Bro, he's drawn more money than these indie-rific wrestlers who have had 10,000 matches in a year, okay? Come on.
It reminds me of that The Rock had this very famous line. This famous line, he said like, The Rock makes more, The Rock had more pie with you than you ever had in a whole lifetime. He gets more pie. And then I think to myself, like, Logan Paul is that. Like, he would have drawn more money in these 3 matches than most indie wrestlers or like low-level wrestlers has drawn in their entire lifetime.
And it's not to say that, we're not turning our noses at indie wrestlers. Let's be very clear. We're talking about people who are like butthurt and sore at the fact that, he's jumped the line. I mean, look.
If I was a wrestler, right, I would be happy that Logan Paul is in my industry, putting eyes in my industry.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like they always say. What was that? High tide raises all ships, right? So now that more people are watching wrestling, like, I mean, you don't hear Roman Reigns complaining.
Yeah, for sure. Bro, I give you a very simple sample size, bro. My girlfriend knows Logan Paul.
Yeah.
She doesn't know anything about wrestling. She knows Logan Paul.
Sure.
And she was the one that came up to me and said, hey, Logan Paul wrestled this weekend.
Yeah.
And I never even tell her about it, She was the one that told me about it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm looking at my social media. I have people that I have never seen post anything about wrestling, post about Logan Paul. You know that viral video that she did?
Oh. Yeah.
Where he did the frog splash with the camera?
That was just, like, I don't know who came up with that idea, but that was brilliant, man. It looked amazing. He set his iPhone to slow-mo mode, right? And then he's talk trash and then freaking does the big frog splash. And apparently, he tore some shit halfway during the match also. Did you see that?
Yes, apparently he got injured. And I rewatched the match back once already, and I was trying to figure out where he got injured.
Yeah.
I believe, right, he got injured when Roman Reigns threw him out of the barricade and his leg got kind of caught on the barricade before he flew up. It hit like straight there. A lot of people thought that it was when he did the buckshot there, right? Because like the landing is pretty heavy, right?
Right.
But I think it's the barricade. And it's very funny. I didn't realize that he would have put it in slow-mo. I thought WWE's social media kind of edited it to
Yeah.
make it like a slow-mo thing. But you think he did it on his own?
No, I
before
think he
jumped?
did it on it. It looks like, okay, as someone who uses the iPhone to film a lot of videos, it looks like it's default slow-mo mode. So,
Okay, but then how do you do it right before you jump? Like you press it right before you
no,
jump?
you just press record straight away. He know. I mean, this is his business. Freaking filming shit on his phone is his business, bro. He literally can do it better than he can breathe. Than he can put on tights or anything. You know, he's just like,
Bro.
okay, here we go, we're good. And then his angles are perfect. Like he's filmed himself a billion times. Okay.
You know who I feel sorry for, bro?
Who?
Austin Theory, bro. He stole his gimmick, bro.
Wait.
He took his lunch money, bro.
What about Jason Waller?
I don't know.
Waller.
It doesn't even like factor in my fucking like network right now, but like how is Austin Theory gonna come out with his selfie phone knowing that a legit social media star is in the roster, how, bro?
So
He really took away his gimmick.
He must feel like Sonya Deville lah at this point. Like freaking okay, there's Sonya Deville and then there's Ronda Rousey.
Yeah. So like who cares that Sonya Deville is an MMA wrestler? So that's so funny. Yeah, but what were some of the funny reactions? Do you have anyone actually in your circle that you saw actually commenting or like liking or posting about Logan Paul wrestling that you didn't think would do that?
No, not really. I think most of my social circle like keep an eye on wrestling, so they knew it already.
Yeah. The funniest thing I did, right? This weird exercise that I did. I just I just check out who liked that photo, that Logan Paul and WWE viral moment.
Yeah.
And I see who are the likes and whether there's any mutual friends.
Right.
And it's all these like musician friends that I never knew for a fact, like wrestling. Fucking
Bro.
Axel Breezy and a couple of like weird people that in the all these celebrities in Singapore.
Forget about the Jason Waller effect. It's the Logan Paul effect.
It is. Yeah.
I because I just randomly opened up because you're talking about I wanted to take a look at my Instagram, right, to take a look at that video again to see, and then I just saw a video of Nikki Cross throwing the 24/7 title in the garbage.
Ooh, but that wasn't on Raw though.
Was it not?
Is it like an exclusive Raw exclusive or is
I
it
don't
like
know. Literally, if you look at WWE's social media, it says Nikki Cross just disposed of the 24/7 title backstage on Raw. So maybe that happened on Raw.
I'll have to check it out. I might have missed it.
And you see the comments, damn funny. The comments are like, she missed the trash can.
Did she throw it from a distance or what?
She don't know. Oh my god, it's so funny. She legit missed. Because I don't know, she's doing this thing where she's just looking up in the sky, like crazy Nikki Cross.
Yeah.
And then she's like supposed to toss it into the trash as she's walking by it. And then she missed.
Oh my god, that is so bad. Oh,
so the comments are all like, she missed, bro. What?
Me moment.
Okay, so that's crown jewel for you. What are your takeaways moving forward? And like, okay, what happened on Raw? Did they progress any of the storyline? Because like I said, I haven't watched Raw yet.
No, they left it for SmackDown, I guess, or they acknowledge it what he did. They also acknowledge his injury, so it appears like a serious injury. So you know how it is with ACL tests. It's gonna take him like 6 months to 9 months. So that just goes to show
6 months to 9 months. That means he's not gonna be wrestling at WrestleMania.
I don't know. Like, okay, apparently MCL tear is the confirm, but the ACL is not confirmed. So I'm not sure what the situation is. But you know what? Him getting injured, right, is actually even better for the business. You know why?
Oh yeah. So it builds up the weight for him to come back.
That's one thing, and also for casuals who just tuning in to watch Logan Paul, and then he say, "Hey, isn't this shit fake?" The fact that he got legitimately injured was like, oh shit, like they now they realize, oh shit, like it is harder than you thought.
Yeah,
he got injured doing it, and people will comment him on his toughness for finishing the match.
Correct. How about Jake Paul with Logan Paul in his corner at WrestleMania versus somebody?
Well, how do you feel about Jake Paul like appearing on WWE TV and like doing what he did at Crown Jewel?
They treated him like any other boxer. He just shows up, didn't really... I don't know if he spoke at the press con, but at Crown Jewel, he literally just showed up. I know there was a lot of shenanigans near the end of the finish, like you got the Solo Sikoa, you got the Usos and stuff like that. I mean, okay, like it's typical WWE, like, fuck finish, you know? Like, you can't have a clean thing here, but I get it, right?
Yeah. I liked it. I liked it.
Yeah.
Doesn't Jake Paul kind of looks like Conor McGregor though? He's like a wish
Big-
version of Conor McGregor.
He's bigger size than Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor is lean AF.
Yeah. But I think it's funny. I feel like Jake Paul has a good boxing body,
Mm.
and Logan Paul has a good wrestling body.
Yeah, that's actually a very astute observation, bro.
Yeah, let the Paul brothers take over the whole fight game lah. I don't
Oh,
care lah.
God. One do sports entertainment, the other one do combat sports, huh? Why not? Why
Yeah,
not?
why not? But yeah, the takeaway from me from the entire event is Logan Paul is a star, and I think he's an asset for WWE.
Mhm.
He brings in a new generation of fans. Like you can't underestimate
Yep.
his Gen Z audience.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's 2 years younger than me, if I'm not wrong. So
Yeah.
like it's an entire new generation of eyes watching WWE.
And they did it at Crown Jewel, where the crowd will cheer for anything and everything. And they were cheering Logan, and you made him look like a star. I feel like maybe if they did this in the US, he might get booed. There's a very strong possibility, depending on which state, that he would probably get booed because of his reputation and stuff like that. So you bring, like, this was just the perfect place, right time to do this match. And they capitalized on it in a big way.
Yeah, they helped him control his narrative, bro. So by the time he come back to WWE in the States, maybe they will be won over by his toughness. You never know.
Yeah.
But I think he is on the right path for sure.
Yeah, right. Like after that match, like if you weren't a fan, and even if you're not a fan, you don't like him, you have to respect what he did.
Yeah, for sure. And again, he's proven he's a much better athlete than a lot of the wrestlers in the industry.
Bro.
He's a much no need to say he's a bigger draw also.
Yeah, that one don't even, like, I would, if I could, like, if I were Tony Khan, I would pay Logan Paul, like, I would get rid of half my roster and bring in Logan Paul. How about that?
But that's just the thing. I know Logan Paul is big time and he's smart. He will never even consider AEW. AEW can't get this kind of celebrities.
Right,
sure.
Yeah. But my point is that his value is so high, right? That you look at AEW's and even WWE's roster is like, okay, I'd rather have one Logan Paul than 20 of these randos.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I think that's where WWE wins out because of their name, their legacy, their brand. The biggest celebrities will only know wrestling as WWE, like UFC as MMA. So AEW has a lot to cut out to get that kind of.
AEW has Mike Tyson on commentary.
Bro.
I missed it. I didn't bother even. I have stopped, bro. I've stopped watching Rampage altogether because it's usually a waste of my time. Was it any good?
Bro, just read the results. It's good enough. But I enjoyed the match not because it was Shibata versus Orange Cassidy. I enjoyed the match because Mike Tyson trying to analyze wrestling is fucking funny, bro. Maybe just watch it just for that, bro. Just watch it just to get entertained.
Okay, no, is it so bad it's good, or did he try and fail and that's why it's funny?
No, Tyson actually knows Shibata. So he was like rattling off all these New Japan statistics and like, hey man, I grew up with him. He was a big, like a big wrestler in New Japan. I love him and the Okada. Then I'm like, who the fuck is this Mike Tyson? Why he's so free time got watch New Japan one? He knows, bro. He knows. So it's quite funny the fact that he knows.
Bro, JR has a notepad with all the answers, the cheat sheet. I said, nah, you read. So you got something to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I can't confirm for sure whether he knows him per se or he's just saying off the script. But him trying to analyze, okay, just think of it how absurd it is. Mike Tyson on commentary, commentating on Orange Cassidy and Shibata. I mean, like,
where's the link? Why?
Okay, so I heard from New Japan fans, whoever is on the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. So Shibata technically just returned from a career-ending injury, right?
Yeah.
He only has 2 matches that he wants to do. Which is like in AEW, which is to challenge Shibata.
Huh?
And
Shibata wants to challenge Shibata.
No, he wants to challenge Orange Cassidy. So that's like one match he wants to do internationally.
Why?
I do not know why. Don't ask me why. And I think I can't remember what's the other one, but I think he wants to challenge John Moxley. So that was like his big AEW dream matches. So I think Tony Khan being Tony Khan wants to cater to his talent lah.
And we've talked about this at the end of time. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this, but Tony Khan needs to stop assuming that we know this shit. Like, honestly, to the casual, they don't know who the fuck this Shibata guy is, right? He's just some Japanese guy, some New Japan guy. Tell the story of his comeback from injury. It's not enough to have Excalibur diarrhea mouth it before. And in this case, he wasn't even on the show, I don't believe. Like, didn't he literally just show up on Dynamite, challenge him, and then, they are going to have a match? Like,
Yeah.
when it happened, because we watched New Japan that one time and you filled me in on his history, so at least I had some idea. But, like, literally that match, I had no anticipation for. Because I'm like, I don't really care about this guy. Yeah, he came back from a career-ending injury, but, like, what has he done for me lately? You know?
Most people even forget the fact that he appeared at Forbidden Door at the end of the Orange Cassidy match, remember?
Yeah. So, but the thing is, he wants to have a match. So, like, he's just Tony Khan needs to stop catering to his wildest fantasies and start catering to his audience and tell a story. Like, imagine you have these big names coming in and you're not telling their story. What a waste. Imagine if you had a few weeks to tell this story. You have a production crew, have them sit this guy down, talk about how his rehab was such a long road, blah, 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 all that kind of thing. This is all like, give me a reason to care about this match on Rampage.
Yeah, exactly, right. And I mean, we can talk about AEW Dynamite like really quickly, but I think this last episode, in my opinion, and I'm a wrestling fan, I'm quite objective, right? I felt like it was the worst Dynamite this whole year.
What? Okay, what happened? I don't even remember what happened.
Yeah, it was so bad, right? It was like essentially a Ring of Honor show. Like the main event, this, was Samoa Joe versus Brian Cage for his TV title. And it's like the coldest main event ever.
Are they trying to promote the ROH pay-per-view or something?
It's because they were having the Dynamite at Baltimore, Maryland, which is apparently like Ring of Honor's like home state or whatever it is, like the promotions state. But the first match was Jay Lethal versus Darby Allin. Darby Allin and Jay Lethal had an okay match, but then right, they got attacked by a guy wearing a Sting mask. And then remember?
Now oh my god, this is so bad, bro. Okay, now I remember already because I did watch this, and it turned out to be
Cole Carter. Who the fuck is this Cole Carter?
Yeah, and then you had a debut, right? And
I thought it was Undertaker, bro.
Fuck lah.
I wish he was lah.
And the also, like, I don't know, for someone who takes a lot of these risks, right? The hesitation was it felt like 10 seconds. It was half a second.
Yeah.
I you know what I'm talking about? When Jeff Jarrett swung that guitar, like there was this weird half a second, 1 second pause. I was like, oh, that looked bad. And they keep replaying it. I was like, wow, this shit looks so bad. Find a different angle or something. But yeah, so Jeff Jarrett shows up. The crowd is dead.
Yeah, crowd is dead. Like nobody asked for Jeff Jarrett in AEW.
Nobody, like, oh my god. And not just that, you had Colt Cabana be Chris Jericho's opponent. Like, they're really trying to like stick it to CM Punk lah, huh?
Bro, don't you think that this was essentially the same thing as WWE firing CM Punk on his wedding day?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like a
fuck, man.
Stick it up your ass.
Okay, no matter what issues, right, like we have, or like, like people don't like about CM Punk for what he did, don't you think AEW is equally as petty to do that?
Yeah, no. I mean, look at who's calling the shots. Obviously, this is a Young Bucks elite thing, right?
No, you know what it is, right, bro? I'm so sorry to shit on your hero, but it's Chris Jericho's idea. I know.
Right. Didn't Chris Jericho go up to CM Punk and call him a cancer in the locker room or some shit like that?
Bro, why does Chris Jericho need to get his name in the drama when he's the most hot? Remember, every time it's like a big star, right? He needs to like have a rivalry with him. Whether it was Eddie Kingston or
MJF.
Shit.
Yeah, he inserted himself.
Wow. So now this drama, I think he just purposely insert himself just to get his name there.
He has become the villain of the story. It's that Batman quote. You stick around long enough, you become the villain. Oh my god.
Sad. And the funny thing is, like, I felt like the fact that they did Colt Cabana dirty, like previously, like when apparently he kena thrown out of AEW because of CM Punk, but that was just a story, a rumor, and CM Punk has denied it. Yeah,
that was the whole issue that CM Punk had, right? Oh my god, I don't believe we're revisiting this. But it's like, it's one of those things where it got quote unquote leaked by who else, right?
Yeah.
They forget to mention the fact that Colt Cabana hasn't done dick while he was there. Yeah. So why would anybody keep him on contract anyway? He was doing what? Nothing. He was doing absolutely nothing.
I want to give you a crazy statistic.
Go ahead.
When Colt Cabana appeared as the surprise challenger, it was the top of the hour. So it was like the second hour, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that's where they put like their big like segments to kind of keep the viewers, right?
Yeah.
AEW Dynamite, and I was listening to Connect in the morning, and they gave this statistic. At the start of the show, it was drawing 1.2 million viewers at the
Not
start,
bad.
right?
Not bad.
Guess what was the viewership when it was the segment between Jericho and Colt Cabana, bro?
I'm gonna guess it fell off a cliff.
It went down to 800,000.
So they lost 200,000. I mean, are you surprised? It's Jericho versus a jobber.
In the course of the match, they lost almost 1/4 of their viewers.
I am not surprised at all. I don't know why Tony Khan thinks this Colt Cabana is a draw. It's the whole Young Bucks, and it's that whole elite lah. They are looking out for the Young Bucks wrestling.
The worst part is, right, the match wasn't that good. Like, it was just a sentimental match. Like, he come back, he performed. They didn't even perform that well. Both are old people. And
Both are old people, bro. Listen to you.
I mean, I'm not ageist or whatever shit. What I'm saying is that they're slow and plodding, and it's like a 52-year-old guy leading a 44-year-old guy, like, And then the worst part is, right,
it's a guy who's not even relevant. I'm talking about Colt Cabana, not relevant.
So what is the only reason why he's there? To make people talk that, oh, Colt Cabana, CM Punk, like, they're literally dicking CM Punk. And if I was a businessman, if I was the owner, why would I pick a guy who's gonna lose me viewers over my biggest draw?
Because he's listening to a bunch of petty fools who are just looking out for themselves. It's very obvious, and anybody can see it. It shows in the booking. AEW has just been a drag to watch. Remember when it was so good with CM Punk, MJF, and all that, and then it's really fallen off a cliff. And like, as much as I remember, I used to dislike Jon Moxley. I'm like, now he's one of the better things to watch.
Yeah, which is like not really that much better lah.
Yeah. I saw like they were posting full gear matches. There's a fatal 4-way for the Ring of Honor title. Jericho, Guevara, Claudio, and
Danielson.
And Danielson. I'm like, why are they announcing this on social media before Dynamite? So weird. Like, where did this come from?
I've noticed the last 2 months, and especially the last 2 pay-per-views, the booking has been like fucking random and uneven, no build, like all over the place.
You know what it is? Tony Khan, his 3-year plan ran out of space already. So he's just booking random shit on the fly.
I think he's going through so much like legal drama and all this nonsense outside that he can't focus on his product right now.
Yeah.
So it was very hard for me to watch, and I'm a very patient guy by nature. But last week's was so bad. I just after the Jericho Cabana, I just shut down. I just didn't want to watch it.
Right. That's hopefully business will pick up soon enough. I mean, we got Saraya and Britt Baker going face to face.
Oh my! No, that happened, but that didn't. So on Dynamite, that was supposed to happen.
No, bro. They are advertising it for this week. That they're going to go face to face.
They were supposed to have a backstage segment with Renee, right? And then
I'm sorry lah, like Saraya, huge return. This is so typical of AEW. Big return, and then week after week after week, interest drops to a point where I don't care.
Do you feel like, given everything that has happened, and they've been teasing the Elite coming back, right, as well? Do you think that CM Punk will come back to AEW by some miracle?
No. As long as the Elite are there, CM Punk will not come back. And I don't care whose fault it is at this point. They should all be adults and try, but we know that they're not. We know that especially the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they're not. They will be whispering, they'll be leaking news to their favorite Uncle Dave. And this is what CM Punk had a big issue with.
Yeah. I am going to put my neck out on the line and say that when CM Punk returns from injury, by some miracle, he's going to return to AEW.
You think so?
You know why? This next couple of months, bro, mark my words, AEW's ratings, AEW's people, it's going to just go down the toilet. It's going to just go down the boiler room. And
Hey, bro, don't disrespect the boiler room, okay? That's where Mick Foley hangs out, okay? He's brought ratings to the show before.
nothing but love for the boiler room mankind, bro.
Yeah, but
Nothing
they're
love.
lower than the boiler room in the
Yeah,
sewer.
lower than the boiler. Like the AEW intro is gonna be so shit with even when the Elite returns and wins the trios title, whatever it is, no one's gonna care about anything that happens there. And Tony Khan will make a decision and decide, like, you know what? The cost of like paying for his buyout, the cost for firing him is not worth it. And because my television sucks anyway, they need something. And he's gonna do the crazy thing, he's gonna bring back CM Punk.
But will CM Punk return, especially with the Young Bucks? As long as he keeps the Young Bucks and that group of friends, all friends wrestling, I don't think it will happen. I don't think he will want to work in a, place like that. And then you got Chris Jericho sticking his nose there saying, oh, CM Punk, you're a cancer. I think what's going to happen is, you're right, interest in AEW will fall into the toilet. And unless MJF freaking does some crazy ass shit, he's going to get the fuck out of there once his contract is up. Was it 2024?
Yeah.
And you know that like WWE is looking at him. You know that he wants out. He can see, he's a smart guy, right? He can see the writing on the wall.
The only reason why I say this is because we've seen a precedent of Tony Khan taking control when he realized shit is going downhill.
Yeah, but his take control also is like, he still has Jericho in his ear now. He's still bringing the Young Bucks back.
I know he's dumb and loyally blind, but he can't be that dumb. There will be a point where it really is in the gutter. And what is Jericho gonna do? You know what I mean? Jericho will just fuck off also, right? You know?
Yeah, but Jericho will just go where the money is.
Yeah, so like I believe CM Punk will have a point to prove, and I think he, even though yes, he fucking like have grudges and he will fucking hate them, right? But I think there will be a scenario where he will come in and he will be proven right, and he wants to be proven right in AEW, not in WWE.
Right, because he's already drawn and he's already like, he doesn't actually have anything to prove in WWE. He has something to prove in AEW.
Either that or he just quits and leaves wrestling again. I mean, I don't care anymore. But like,
yeah, but it's fine. I would rather him just do that, and let's let AEW, let the Young Bucks fans be all like, oh my god, they're the back, and then week after week their ratings drop. Like, I don't know what it is, but they have their fans, and maybe that's why they're fans, right? They're not objective. They're like, oh, they have them believing that they are the main draw. They are the number pullers. They are not. Go and look back at every single ratings sort of breakdown. It's like when they returned, when they won the trios title, when Kenny Omega came back, those were all ratings in the toilet.
Yeah.
What were the main ratings? CM Punk, John Moxley, like Bryan Danielson, those guys.
It's a very crucial time for AEW right now because the first 3 years have given them success.
Yep.
But this next like 1 year or 2 years, right, will decide whether they're gonna be a true alternative or they're gonna be TNA in Impact. You know.
I hate to be that guy, but I'm gonna be that guy and say that they failed to elevate their guys. They had the 3 years, that momentum, right, to elevate an AEW original. They've only done so for one person, and that's MJF. Nobody else. Wardlow, they got Wardlow over not by their own doing, it's by MJF's doing, and now they just fucking dropped the ball so hard on Wardlow. It's not even funny.
If he loses MJF and he loses CM Punk,
done.
Yeah,
Habis.
AEW is not really even watchable anymore, in my opinion, unfortunately.
Jason says, but even if numbers drop to 600,000 viewers, it's going to be the top rated show on cable, and that's key numbers for advertisers. Bro, they can put a rerun of The Big Bang Theory, and it
does more.
It would do more or better, and they wouldn't have to pay for the setting up a show and everything. They could put a Monday night or Wednesday night movie, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, what I mean is like it will. The only reason why Tony Khan would do it and bring back CM Punk is if, imagine Turner or Warner Brothers go to him and say, hey, your ratings are not doing well, we might pull the plug on AEW. Then what is he going to do?
Yeah. Well,
rely on the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega? No, right? So,
well, we'll have to wait and see, I guess, when the time comes. Anyway, it's 2:15. It's time for us to get the hell out of here and, start doing other things outside of wrestling, unfortunately.
Yeah, man. Well, I promise an announcement for our Discord people first.
Okay.
So at least I can give them a bit of a tease, a bit of a tease, right? Yeah. So
Yep.
today is episode 41, right?
42, bro, isn't it?
Oh
42.
shit, 42 already. Yes, 42. So we are 3 weeks away from our season finale. So episode 45 will officially be our final show for this season, and we are hoping to get in the next couple of weeks some SPW wrestlers on our show to promote SPW's 10th anniversary. Don't forget, Grapple Max also will be having their anniversary show as well on the 3rd of December.
Bro, it's
so
gonna be big. That's the finals of their big tournament, right?
Yes, so it's gonna be a big show as well. So, like the last few episodes for our season finale is like all climaxing, bro, to like this whole big weekend of wrestling, bro. Because that weekend will be Survivor Series as well in full gear. So it's gonna be crazy last couple of weeks. But then, after our season finale ends, I think we're gonna have to take stock and take a breather. So we are planning to do a really, really special episode. And just tune in to our social media for the next couple of weeks while we tie it down. But we are hoping to do a get-together for our listeners and our fans to celebrate the end of season 5, to look back at all these great moments that we had throughout the year, and just kind of hang out. Like what we plan to do. That's probably just gonna like be a casual hangout. We'll just talk and like do like a show start inside the ropes format kind of thing. We can even do Q&A. We can even do trivia. And and stuff like that. So hopefully we can like between both of us, we can kind of like figure out what exactly how are we gonna go about it, and we'll give you guys announcements really, really soon. So I want to thank all the Discord listeners for voting. So bro, we got like 11 people who say they're willing to come. Right?
Let's go. It's a party.
Let's go. Let's have a good party, man, this December. So I hope you guys all join us and and like celebrate the end of the year. Talk wrestling together, finally meet up for the first time.
As always, just follow our Discord if you haven't already joined the Discord. The link is in the description. Of course, we have a Patreon page as well if you want to take your support for the podcast to the next level. I think it's time we took things to the next level.
For sure. And our Patreon people, the people who are already on our Patreon, we got something very special for you for that live meetup. Because before that, we're gonna have like a live kind of setting. So I hope we can get our Patreon members to come on board and join us.
All that being said, if you haven't already, do us a favor, hit that like on the YouTube video. If you missed out on any of it, you can watch it video on demand or listen to the podcast. Maybe you're on the treadmill, you don't want to watch our faces, but you still want to hear our beautiful voices. You can listen to us on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, Apple Podcasts, blah, blah, blah. You know the deal. Let's get out of here. Everybody, have yourself a great week. We'll catch you. Oh, I'm going to Malaysia again, bro, this weekend.
Oh, enjoy, bro.
I become that guy. Every month, go to Malaysia with the wife.
Every weekend go buy groceries or no?
Not every month lah. Every weekend, very very tiring,
Yeah, shag. Okay, enjoy, bro. Enjoy this weekend, right? Friday to Sunday or what?
No, Friday to Monday. So we come back on Monday afternoon, less traffic. I took leave on Monday.
Oh, nice. Yeah, you should. End of the year, man. Just enjoy it, man.
Malacca, bro. Now we're driving even further up.
Next time KL, then next time Bangkok.
that freaking drive road trip to Thailand, yeah, walao. But okay, we're gonna get out of here. Everybody have a great week ahead. If anybody is going to the PlayStation God of War launch, I will see you there later. But as always, it is Mr. Young.
And it's Foreign in the building. Have a great week ahead.
Kick to the gut. I like it.